And a happy Tuesday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by Mott's Clamato Caesar. Available in both original and variety 12 packs. A great pack size for entertaining and hanging out with friends. Did you want a Mott's Clamato Caesar?
No,
Okay,
I'm
just
good.
Just wanted to make sure we ask everyone. Lieutenant Eric comes in and he always opens one up. But today on the EST Hangout, Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with here as always, and joining us, the voice of the Edmonton Oil Kings, Andrew Peard, returns.
Hello, Peard.
And if you are a Nasty Club annual member, there is a monthly draw to win a spot on the Hangout. And our first winner was Mick from Beaumont. Mick, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome, Mick.
Do you prefer
Pleasure.
going by Mick from Beaumont or your real name?
No, just Mick from Beaumont.
Mick from Beaumont it is.
Where did the Nick thing come from? I'm
Mick.
listening.
No, Mick.
Yeah, I know, but where did the Nick thing come? The boys
What
were
Nick?
talking about
No.
it was in the system as Nick.
No. We thought, like, his name's Mike.
My real name is Mike.
Oh,
So it was Mick or Mike, and that's
gotcha.
what...
Okay, so that's
So I
what
said
the
Mike
confusion
was in tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's like, I thought it was Mick, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a good question.
Okay.
And then
Not
they were
Nick.
talking, there was no Nick at all.
I'm like,
it was
where the hell's
Mick
Nick coming
or
from?
Mike.
I know Mick from Beaumont. Yeah. Okay.
You
Got
know
it.
a Nick from Beaumont?
Yeah.
There is a Nick from Beaumont.
There's a Nick from
on
Beaumont.
The chat.
So like,
Exactly.
oh, okay.
Never met
That's
him, though.
where this is the confusion has
Is it
come.
Nick from Beaumont?
Yeah.
Apologies, Nick, if I didn't know
Right.
that.
I haven't seen him on the YouTube chat, but I've seen him back in the 1260
Yes.
days.
Okay.
That's. See. Thank you, Mick.
No problem.
I got to leave the floor for you to start.
I'd like to start this show by apologizing to my brother Paul, who was very upset with me yesterday and the comments I made about him, about ball hockey. And Paulie, I'm very sorry. I'm sorry that it's caused you this grief. And I hope that you can see past this and that we can continue our brotherhood in a cordial manner. To those out there in the ball hockey world, it is a fun sport, and I admire the fact that you're out there battling day in and day out. Mom and Dad, I'm sorry.
I don't even know how to go.
I know.
That was
very-
beautiful, Tom.
Thank
It's
you.
heartfelt.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, right from the heart.
yeah, I caused some pain yesterday.
I think
Somehow I did.
I think that was the first ever formal apology by Edmonton Sports Talk.
Yeah.
So to all those impacted by yesterday's hangout, I will apologize on behalf of myself, not Will Fraser, because there's no way Will's going to apologize about anything that was
Yeah.
said. But I will take the responsibility as well on that one, I guess.
I'd also like to extend my apology to those who wear jeans with a blazer, and I apologize for calling that lazy. Mick, who's a realtor, said that that's a go-to for realtors, and
I still don't see what's wrong with that one.
it's personal preference, and I'm sorry if I offended anyone else out there. I just want to make sure that everybody out there, we're cool, and I'll be better.
Wow, what a start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Tom.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Brent, fight.
Oh, I guess my brother wanted to fight me yesterday, so
There's well, let's not go into all of that stuff and get things in trouble.
Let's leave it at that. He's my brother. I love him.
There's some good comments in the nasty chat
Yeah.
I won't go into. Savage the Plumber, you were bashing ball hockey, so there's that comment from yesterday. But there you go. Now, actually, this is a good. I think there's one more apology you could hand out.
Oh boy.
T Biscuit now needs to apologize for being against the Rouge. So would you
I'll
would you
never
like to apologize for that one and just
No,
to make
I-
amends for that one as well?
The only thing I will say, like, the Rouge needs to go, but if there is like an amended Rouge, I am willing to accept that. I know Belzy's hard against it, but no, the Rouge. I draw the line at the Rouge. I'm sorry.
Did I ask you about the Rouge before?
No, you have
Are
not.
you in or like should the CFL keep or get rid of the Rouge?
It's
It's a
so
contentious issue.
To me, it's so Canadian. It's so a part of the CFL. To me, I am a fan of the Rouge.
Damn right
and
you are.
You know what? We saw it come into play this year for the Edmonton Elks, right? In that game in Saskatchewan. So I'm fully in favor of keeping the Rouge.
Mick?
Definitely. It's part of the CFL history.
Yeah.
You can't change it.
Yeah.
It's Canadian as it gets.
You take the Rouge away, then you go to 4 downs and you shrink the field. And
Exactly.
Well, hang on. Nobody
Exactly.
said, nobody
So-
said
but
shrink,
it's-
shrink
it's-
the end zones, but
It's the first domino
Yeah.
that will fall. If this one falls, then people are going to be like,
No,
okay,
no,
let's
no.
do the downs and let's do the field. See, you and
But we're
Belzy are
jumping to
so
conclusions
in the
here.
minority. You are
yeah,
so
I'm
in the
realizing
minority.
this, but this is a hill I'm willing to die on. Is the Rouge can go, but the 3 downs has to stay. 12 men on the field has to stay. The 5 yards, we could take the 5 yards away from the end
See,
zone.
you're already
That'd be great.
You're already cutting into more and more of the Canadian.
No. We keep it wide.
A year from now, you'll be like, actually,
Nobody's getting rid of the
isn't that bad.
55.
Yeah.
It isn't that bad. Maybe
Nobody's touching the waggle.
Do we really
No-
need Canadian players? Like that's
Oh.
then it ends there.
Ocho
Where
Cinco
does it
was.
stop?
Do we need 12 players on the field? or
Mick,
should
I
we
thought
just
you were
strip
on
to
my
11
side.
and-
What's going on
I'll
here?
try, buddy.
I'm just.
No, it's not a snowball. It's just
It
like
is.
let's tweak the game for the better. And the better would be getting rid of the rouge and making the end zones 5 yards shallower. That's
I'm
it.
actually-
Winning
no.
helps too.
Winning helps.
Winning is a big
Bring
one.
back
Here's-
the fans.
yeah, that's true. Like
Well,
if we're gonna hone in on the Elks, absolutely winning helps. But
Well, I could go there quickly. for a
I
bit.
want the Canadian game to flourish forever.
Are you an Elks fan?
I am. Yeah.
Should they go to private ownership? Is it time, or is this still like?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think they could go to private ownership because they might have more of a structure and they can do what they want. But at the same time, it's been community owned for so long.
Yeah.
It'd be tough, I think. And to find somebody that wants to buy them right now, I don't know who.
I think there might be. I think there is interest, like, and an opportunity to take a storied franchise and then make it your own,
Yep.
and then try to bring it back
Bring
to
it back,
life, if you will. Yeah, I think that would be a great for a great book. Maybe
Yeah.
like a Hallmark
book.
movie. JMO
Part two.
book, part two. Yeah,
He'll write his first book of all the funny stories and
Yes.
amazing stories. And the second part will be the
Yeah.
transition from this to
I
the
would
next
get that
ownership.
book so fast.
Yeah. Well, his stories are unbelievable.
I've gone to go on like fully on board almost with the private ownership because I do think like it's probably going to be a group of people. They're probably going to be from Edmonton. That there's going to be that feel of it's still community owned because like even right now, it's not like anyone could just be part of the
Right.
Elks ownership as it's community owned. It's not like any of us could just go buy the shares necessary. I'm like, hey, I'm now an owner.
Yeah.
It's not like the Packers or anything like that. So
That would be huge too. Keep it local.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
want somebody coming in from somewhere else to buy it.
And that's, I think Lawlisher made mention that there was at least an interested party he spoke to in the last 6 months or whatever it was, since he's taken the president's job. They had interest in the Lions when he was with the Lions,
Okay.
and that's when it's like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. No, don't want that. It needs to be someone locally. But if it's a group of people locally,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Ryan Reynolds. That'd be good.
I don't. Hey, do
We
it,
could
Ryan.
be his next Wrexham.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Let's do-
Revitalize the franchise.
Exactly.
And if he wants it, if he does it right, he could then buy a soccer team for the Canadian Premier League, connect it to that's two, which is connects to Wrexham. It's just all one big circle for him.
Just a
So how do we
sporting
get in touch
empire,
with
yeah.
Ryan Reynolds for this? How do we let him know?
Facebook.
Yeah.
Is that if Ryan Reynolds? If you're watching, or if anyone that knows Ryan Reynolds is watching, just send him a message. He'll be interested. If he was interested in the Sens, why wouldn't he be interested in the Elks? It's gonna be a lot cheaper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You won't have to fly
Is
across
he not
the
going to
pond.
be a celebrity captain for the NHL All Star game now?
Oh,
You think he's one of the ones that gets picked?
I've heard like Bieber and Drake.
Yeah, that's what they were
Yeah,
talking about.
those make sense.
Yeah.
They're local Toronto.
Yeah.
I think Ryan Reynolds he's not connected to the NHL now.
Yeah.
Who do they always? Who's the go-to? Like their go-to
Nickelback.
Like, yeah, and they go to Max from Arkells all the time. I love Arkells.
I can see
Max
that
is
one.
a great guy.
Because it's Hamilton area.
Yeah,
So him, Bieber, Drake.
Yeah.
And they need a fourth.
Mike Myers. Mike
Yeah.
Myers would be a perfect fit, wouldn't he?
That would be cool.
Yeah,
Unless you need a female in there.
yeah.
wanna mix it up.
Who would we have in there? Well, you could get like Shania. You could get Avril Lavigne. Who like Carly Rae Jepsen?
Yeah.
Who's more recent? That's like a
Yeah, we're going
big
back
time
to
Canadian female
2000s
star.
for-
She just
That's
did
true.
Saturday Night Live. She's from Calgary.
Who?
Singer or
Yes.
Okay.
Fife?
No,
That's
music?
going way back.
no, don't believe so.
Nelly Furtado?
No, this is like she did it like a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
like that recent.
Oh,
Now I got to pull this up. I think she's from Calgary.
drawing a
You
blank.
found her when you
she's
were doing your commish research for the draft.
Well, he's relinquished those
Yeah.
duties. Quinn Phillips, welcome aboard. I already have a ton more of respect for you as commish than the previous guy.
I've got other. I moved on. I'm on to my next stage of life. It's going to be glorious.
Great. Yeah, you've been smiling a lot the
Like
last
Dusty
week.
said, even when Quinn gets here, he'll be watching over her
He'll
shoulder.
definitely.
and
Not a
have
chance.
his fingers all over.
He'll
the
be
draft.
judging her PDF files for the draft because
I
he
won't even
made
see
the
'em.
originals.
Look,
You're gonna ask to see them. I know.
in
you.
the end, I might have to do, as you guys did, under protest host that because it's part of my workday as opposed to sitting
I'll
at home and not
protest
doing
you.
anything.
Protest under protesting hosting.
That just doesn't make any sense. But cool.
YouTube Trev could host.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm all for that. YouTube Trev, you're now hosting that, so I don't even have to be here. That makes it even better for me. Tate McRae.
Oh, cool.
She's a 20-year-old from Calgary. And she just she was on Saturday Night Live. She was on So You Think You Could Dance and stuff, but she's like actually really big right now.
Tate McRae.
So if you're looking for like a female, like I know that's not the Toronto area, but there would be someone if you're looking to add. Now, I don't know if she cares at all about hockey or anything like that, but
Maybe.
Sweet.
Tate McRae.
you're looking that up.
Yeah.
It's going to go listen to her music now.
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh, I've seen her. Okay. She's from Calgary?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, all right. She does all that hockey stuff. She's a huge hockey fan.
What hockey stuff?
She's always like in hockey gear, isn't she? If I'm
Yeah,
thinking the
you're
right
right.
person.
Yes, yes, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then there you go. Although she's from
perfect.
Calgary, that's the only difference. That's the only problem.
It's all
Need
good.
somebody from out west.
Yeah, exactly. Represent.
Yeah, it's Toronto. Though. They don't like the
Yeah,
West.
that's true.
They're not touching anyone from the West. That's who they do. Christine Sinclair, because why not? Says Mr. S-O-B with the Canadian O-H.
Oh,
So I like
Christine Sinclair. When's her final game? That's coming up.
They're in Victoria and Vancouver soon.
And it's like 35,000
remember.
plus have bought tickets already.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So they should.
Yeah.
Like, she's
Well-
the best female player.
Yeah,
ever.
one of the
One of
best
the greatest-
strikers ever.
Yeah, one of the greatest Canadian athletes, I'd
Yeah.
say, yeah.
1st and 5th, I believe, in December. They'll be playing in Victoria and in BC.
Awesome.
She is the greatest goal scorer internationally,
Yep.
no matter gender. Like, she has scored more international goals than Cristiano Ronaldo, so she gets credit for that. But she is, like, if we go through it, like, she ultimately is one of our greatest athletes.
Yeah,
I'm not a soccer fan, and I know who she is.
Yeah.
Who, like, I think most people would
think
know who
everybody
Christine
does, yeah.
Sinclair is now, and like the longevity of her career and the greatness of her career. And I still go back to one of my favorite moments of hers. It was actually a good moment for Canada soccer, but they had the Women's World Cup in 2011, I believe.
Yeah.
And they were terrible. They had an awful manager.
Who was the manager back then?
I was an Italian. I forgot her name.
That was before Herdman, right?
Yeah, it was
Herdman
actually
came in right after.
This manager destroyed the women's national team mentally. That's why Herdman had to come in and rebuild them because
Pick 'em
this
back up.
Yeah.
because it was just a chaotic mess with Canada soccer, you know.
Say what else is new?
But she like broke her nose, Christine Sinclair, in one of
Yeah.
the games, and she had to like wear a mask, and she played through it all, and it was like that's Canada type thing,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
toughness, playing through injury. That's Christine Sinclair.
That's awesome.
Always going for it. But yeah, no, she's like one of our greatest athletes of all
Absolutely.
time, and I'll be sad to see her over. But it is time from a national perspective,
Right.
Because I don't think she's done professionally.
Right.
I think she's still playing with Portland. I don't think she's announced her time in that way. Just internationally, she's done with Canada.
It will be weird not seeing her playing for Canada because she's been such a staple for 20, 21 years now. What was it? 02?
02.
02, the U19?
Under 19.
Yeah.
You think she's going to be involved somewhere with
I would think
Canadian
so.
soccer?
You would hope
think
so.
so.
Yeah.
But you could also look at it and go, that somehow Canada soccer is going to screw this up. Like,
could be true.
This is, you just even going to the men's side right now, they're in this process for the 2026 World Cup, and it's just a disaster. We don't even know who the manager is going to be of this program, and this is the golden age of the men's side.
Isn't
And
there
it's just
some
a mess.
dysfunction there? We were talking, remember we were going to go watch the game at Pine on White,
Mm-hmm.
and it's Yumi, Eric, and Hernan, and we were talking about how there was some dysfunction amongst the group, or there was like a bit of a rift.
Yeah,
Am I describing it properly?
Yeah, so they were a brotherhood,
Right.
without question, throughout the qualifying.
And Herdman
here.
helped create that, right?
He helped create that, and then
Yeah.
the team helped create that too. Like they just were close with each other. And I remember I spoke to a couple of the players before those matches here in Edmonton, and they talked about how much they love each other. You know, that full brotherhood, how important that is.
Brotherhood's very important. I just want to really emphasize that.
And
while we're on the subject, just to my brothers back home in Calgary, I apologize for some things that I did as well when we were younger. So
Yeah.
I want to learn from my friend Tom here.
Solidarity, here.
Yeah.
to my brother Mike, I apologize for nothing.
I don't have a brother, so.
Oh,
Perfect. This
Well.
side of the room is good. But so there was the whole labor issue, this like the issue
yeah.
between the players and the Canada Soccer Association, and that led to some infighting between the players. Some players not happy with other players for the lack of support and things like that, and that carried into the World Cup. That when they got to the World Cup, the group itself were not as close as they were through that qualifying.
Gotcha.
And I think that is still the case as we
lingering.
get to here. Whoever is the next manager, that's probably going to be a big thing they're going to have to figure out is getting that team on the same page once again.
How are we not like the Canadian men's soccer team? How is it not getting the funding that it needs to have these friendlies to build up to like the big events? We just don't get the games in that everyone else does.
Yeah, because in the September, so there was the September international window and then the October international window. In the September international window, Canada didn't even have a game.
Yeah.
They didn't have the money to pay for anyone to play against
Which
anyone.
is totally ridiculous.
It
That's
is
our
ridiculous.
national team.
Yep.
So the issue is
They just went to the World Cup.
Yeah.
First time in
there's that
30
deal,
years.
and this is where the players are fighting. There's that deal with the Canadian Business Coalition, whatever heck, I forgot what it's called. That now like they own the Canadian Premier League and all of that. They locked in for basically all the revenue for Canada Soccer, for the next
Like
20
jersey
years
revenue
or
and
something.
everything.
They get to sell the endorsements. They get to sell a bunch of that. And so Canada Soccer doesn't see that money. They got an upfront, I think, or like a yearly fee for a couple mil. And it's like, well, and that's why everyone looks back and it's be like, you knew you potentially going to go to the World Cup. You knew you were hosting the World Cup. There was going to be money coming in. Why did you sell away all of the rights to make all of this money for a short term,
Gain.
a small
Yeah.
little gain? And that's where the players are like, well, there should be more money being spent, but it goes to other people, not to the Canadian Soccer Federation. Right. So it can't be spent on paying for the friendlies or paying for the females
So even if
or
they
stuff.
go get big corporate sponsorship,
It's not necessarily going to the squad and stuff. And that's where people go like, this deal has to, I've got to get out of this deal if you can.
Yeah.
So good times.
Stupid.
Good times. It's federation-wise in this country, it's just quite a bit of issues, hopefully.
It's a mess.
Yeah, it's a mess. Just like Tommy right now. Just are you still fixing?
I'm texting with our nasty.
Okay,
nasties,
perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that like everything was okay now that you have the
my
public
brother, no,
apology.
he won't talk to me.
Okay.
No, he doesn't care. He's mad. He's very stubborn, like me. Tube Socks.
That's the Italian.
Tube Socks says, I just told my kid that you apologize for disparaging remarks made about the jean/blazer combo, and he said you should never apologize for that. Tube Socks' son, I believe it's Julian, very stylish, very stylish. So Tube Socks, tell him I said thank you, and I appreciate that. But to each their own. As long as you're comfortable, look good, feel good, play good. It's about positivity today.
Okay.
That's what I do on my golf game.
Yeah.
Good, feel good, play.
That's right.
How was your golf game overall?
Poor.
So what's poor for you? I'm always intrigued, like when people say I have a poor golf game.
I went from a 5 handicap to a 12 last year.
Whoa, you're dipping into my cat and my.
I had a small. Once I turned 40, I had a shoulder injury and it isn't going away. And I kept trying to golf and it wasn't good.
That's where he is right now.
Surgery, baby. Surgery.
Oh,
So, Mick, are
Torn
you
labrum.
going to get surgery like
maybe
Matthew?
we can get a group discount or something.
That'd be great.
Honestly, Glenn Sather Sports Medicine. If anyone has like some sort of sports related injury, get referred there. They are amazing for that stuff. I went in, like I'd been dealing with my shoulder stuff for a couple of years. Finally got in. The guy knew right away. He's like, I think it's a torn labrum. Like we'll send you for an MRI. We'll double check. But yeah, torn labrum.
Mine's in the back
And it's
of my shoulder, not in the front.
I don't know. Mine was the back of my labrum that was torn.
Oh, okay.
So it's like right here.
Maybe that could
doesn't
be it.
help. So I will just.
Dr. Iwanyk figured it out.
He's very thorough and meticulous, I have to say.
It was Dr. Boyko who I had, who was amazing. I will just say that.
Nice.
So it's if you ever have a sports injury, like I highly recommend getting sent there. I know a buddy that had some hockey injuries. He got there and he loved it too. So
I had to go there for my knee.
Did you?
It was great. Yeah.
Like they know what they're doing. They specialize in that sports stuff. So if you do have that sports one, like you have to be referred by your doctor.
Yep.
But it's just a form they have to fill out. So go to them like, hey, I want to go to the Glen Sather and go there. And it takes a while to get in.
It's still right
But-
off of White Ave by U of A, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took it, and
That's
like
awesome.
if you're buying LRT, it stops
right
right
there.
in front.
Yeah.
You literally walk out and you're inside the front door. So it is amazing. Want to get into a couple texts in the nasty chat, but somebody mentioning Haley Wickenheiser for one of the celebrities.
Yeah,
which would
that'd
make
be good.
a lot of
She
sense.
works for a team. That's the
She
only
works for the
thing. She
Leafs,
works for
doesn't
the
she?
Leafs. Yeah. So I don't
So
know if
that's a
there's a
celebrity
conflict
thing.
or does it work?
But it's just an all-star thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, it's not
That's
like
fair.
she's.
I don't know if there's like a.
We should probably have to take any leaf,
Yeah,
just
maybe.
like for that, because you can't be a
Maybe.
leaf and not take a leaf.
She'd
but-
be a good one.
So-
she's really nice. I like her. Dr. Haley Wickenheiser.
Mm-hmm. And actually, I do have to, because Brian Cheeseman saying also shout out to Dr. Boyko, who retired after 35 years of service with the Edmonton Eskimo/Elks. So
Nice.
congratulations on a wonderful career, Dr. Boyko. Speaking of cheese, he used to work for the Oil Kings. You work for the
Yeah.
Oil Kings. You guys got a big game this weekend, Teddy Bear Toss night.
We do. It's our biggest game of the year. It's really exciting. We unveiled our jerseys yesterday. So
Did you ever?
Yeah, they are loud.
I love
They're
'em.
in your face, and they are all about the Bears, and that's what we are. It's all for a great cause for 630 Chet Santa's Anonymous. Getting kids toys in a time of need here during the holiday season, and I think we're gonna surpass the 150,000 bear total all time.
Wow.
It's going to be great, and obviously the Brick will be there selling their Brickley Bears, and that money going to Stollery.
Excellent.
So it's just it's a great way to come out, support the community, watch some good hockey, and we're really excited. We got the Everett Silvertips in town, so it's going to be a really good hockey game. The Oil Kings, they're making a nice little turn through the current cycle that they're in right now, and it feels like this team is getting closer and closer to being back into contention, being a playoff team, and then eventually being a championship team again. So we're really excited for Friday, and we still have limited tickets available. It's into the Upper Bowl, but if you want to be there, just head to oilkings.ca. It's only $20.
Peard, always a great deal. I was at, what did I see? You guys again, well, the Oil Kings versus the Thunderbirds about 3-4 weeks
Yeah.
ago. And it was a great time. Lots of kids, which is good. It's a great family atmosphere. The rules for having a teddy bear, because you have to have like a plastic bag over the teddy bear, right?
Yeah. So number one, make sure it's a new teddy bear.
Yeah.
And then bring it in a plastic bag. If you don't have a plastic bag, we'll have them for you at the door. And I know there's a bag policy at Rogers Place. We obviously make amendment to that for the game. But make sure it's in a bag when you chuck it out onto the ice. That way it stays in good condition. And, we're not giving, a haggard little teddy bear to a kid at Christmas time. So, but yeah, I mean, most people that come out, they sort of know the routine. We've been doing it for a long time. But if it is your first time coming down, if you have a plastic bag, great. If you don't, we got you covered. So, and don't bring one bear if you're coming to the game. Bring 10 bears, bring 15 bears, and throw them out on the ice, because it's a great spectacle, and it's really unique, and it's what makes junior hockey so good.
Dude, people bring the Costco bear.
We bought one. So
Okay.
we bought one, and we've been hauling around the office and putting it in different little promotional videos we've been doing.
Yeah.
Man, those things are heavy.
They're huge.
It takes two people to lift them. Like
Yeah.
it is insane.
Yeah.
Only $250. So
Well, it'll be somebody's plaything
Yeah.
at some point.
yeah.
Is Radomski, has he been like cuddling up to it a little bit?
Yeah, he just, in lieu of a desk chair now, he just kind of pops that down, sits there.
that'd be
and-
Two
Comfy.
big teddy bears.
Yeah, you're up.
Yeah.
Better than a beanbag chair.
Oh, you lie
Yeah.
back on that, bring out your laptop. That'd be comfy as heck.
Yeah.
We need one in here, maybe now. We need
There's
to go
an
purchase. It's
idea.
only
In the
$250.
Yeah, well,
Expensive to
Cover
for
up
the company. Beezy. Taking shots at LeBron.
I'm not taking shots at him. I
Yeah,
respect
Matty, what
him very
happened,
much.
last night with the Lakers.
Got destroyed by the 76ers.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's I don't know what to make of the Lakers. They've been winning a lot of games, but it's kind of early for me to fully get in on the Lakers. Just early in that NBA season,
But aren't we in
it's-
the heart of the in-season tournament?
Yep.
Like what? Someone can either of you explain this to me?
Go for it,
Yes.
Matthew.
Okay.
So there's an in-season tournament where teams are broken up into groups, so it's like divisions.
Okay.
And there's times of the season right now where there's in-season games. So what it is you play for an in-season record, but it's also a regular season game.
Yeah.
and it counts to both. And then teams will advance to quarterfinals, and then after that, there's a separate semifinals, finals that will take place in Vegas around February, I think.
Like the Raptors are out already, I think, because they lost
Yeah,
too
they
many
were.
of their.
They lost
I
the
don't
first
even know.
couple, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to
I'm
pull it
not
up.
the biggest NBA fan, but I've
Kept
noticed
tabs.
when the
Yeah.
floor changes.
Then that's how you know, Peard. They have different jerseys. The floor
Well,
is like wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's to indicate that it's in season tournament game.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the purse on this? Because the players do seem to be engaged.
Well,
in
because
it.
they're gonna make money off of it. Like it's like a money contest.
Yeah.
They get
Yeah.
500 grand each, I
Yeah.
think.
They will win the NBA Cup, as they're calling it, and each player will win
And
$500,000.
the coach gets an extra couple million.
Oh, wow.
Big time
So-
incentive.
Yeah.
What is it?
Straight up
Cannot finish
money.
first, but
Yeah.
That's what's in it for them.
in your group, top moves on. Second place will move on as well, as second place team. And the Raptors, let's find what they're.
Because they were 0-2.
The
right?
Raptors, they're 1-2. They are officially eliminated.
Yeah.
The Magic, the Celtics, and Nets are still eligible to come out of East Group C.
East
It's a sexy
East
name.
Group C, and then then
20 years
there's
from now, we're going to look back at those rivalries in
Yeah.
East Group C.
East
and-
Group C
yeah.
champions.
and then
2023.
it looks like then the best second place team moves on. That's how it works. So 3 group winners, and then the best second place move on
Okay.
to groups, the final 4 of each conference, and then there'll be the semifinals. So there'll be the knockout stage. East 1 plays that fourth
there's
place
8
team.
teams in the playoffs.
Yes. 2 will play 3, and then they'll go to Las Vegas on the 7th and 9th to play for the semis and the championship. So it's coming to the NHL eventually. I'll call it right now. It's happening.
Monkey see, monkey do.
The NBA will get this done. They will start doing it more and more.
Yeah.
They'll build it to something where then all of a sudden hockey fans be like, why aren't we doing this? And the NHL will be like, why aren't we doing this? And then they'll add it.
Speaking of LeBron, Vegas, and basketball, remember I said that they were talking about building a brand new arena for an NBA team on the Strip?
Yeah.
They kiboshed it this week or last week. They killed it. So
What, they're going to play in the Sphere now?
No, I think they would just end up at T-Mobile if and when the NBA moves to Vegas or they get an expansion franchise led by King James himself, the best player of all time. I'm kidding. It's MJ.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
I'm too young to comment. That's how I've always taken. I never saw MJ.
He was amazing.
So I
You
defer.
saw him.
Minus
You
the
just
Wizards.
were
Yeah,
only
it-
5 years old.
Yeah.
So I will defer to people that, watched him more, and they keep saying it's MJ. So
Yeah.
I defer to it's MJ.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. Like, obviously, I never watched a ton of Michael Jordan. For me, as someone in my generation, I always look at Kobe Bryant was always my guy as the best player of all time, as far as what I have seen. But yeah, the GOAT, MJ, because I don't want to get yelled at. And yeah.
Dusty's right over
Is
there.
Dusty still here? Yeah.
He's still here.
Yeah, I don't think he's listening because he would have said something by
Yeah, he's
now.
probably having Fruit Loops.
That's what I'll say.
in the
Pop-Tarts.
kitchen area. Yeah, Pop Tarts.
Actually, you want to know what's okay? Here's the thing about Pop Tarts. I got to pull this up because this is amazing.
He's quite excited about that Pop-Tart bowl.
That's
Yes.
where I'm going to. I don't know if you guys heard about the Pop Tart Bowl.
That is unbelievable.
So there's now a Pop Tart Bowl in college football this year. I don't know which game they replaced. Here's the important part of that game.
Do tell.
The Pop Tart Bowl had the first ever edible mascot. Per the bowl, when the final whistle blows, the winning team will celebrate by taking a bite of the giant pastry mascot. That is college football for you
That's
at its
amazing.
finest. I love the Cheez-It Bowl when they take Cheez-Its and just pour it, all over
Yeah,
themselves.
Cheez-Its are Cheez-Its.
There's the Mayo Bowl where the coach gets mayo dumped on him. This is taking it to the next level, and I love it.
Now,
The
is there going to be
Pop-Tart
someone in the Pop Tart?
Bowl. You would think.
There's got to be somebody.
Oh,
walking
that
it
would be
around.
nasty
Oh,
because
man.
the
It'd be out of,
mascot
like-
costumes get sweaty and they stink, and so you're having an edible Pop Tart mascot.
How does the Pop-Tart not break if he's
Well,
moving
Yeah,
around?
exactly.
Well, there's that. There's
How do you heat it up?
so they're not heating it. Well, it's going to be outside. It's going to be. I don't know where the game's being played.
You get a
but
heat lamp
It's
and
going
he
to
just
be
sits
warm
under
at
it.
least.
Yeah, from
I
his
also.
sweat.
Oh,
If it's just outside in the air for a couple of hours, do you really want to eat
this
it?
is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But it's also the greatest idea.
I'm
No,
pretty sure Dusty said he'd take a bite.
I'm not surprised.
I would do it. So it's taking place in Orlando, Florida,
Well, so do we.
at an
Okay.
outdoor stadium. So it's going to have that to go for it.
Does it
This thing
say
has
which
to-
bowl game it replaced?
This, I'm just, it used to be the Cheez-It Bowl.
Cheez-It Bowl's done?
Aw, that's crushing.
Yeah,
I'm
Tommy,
very hurt by that now. I love the Cheez-It Bowl.
we were talking about Arizona before. One of the best golf trips I ever went on. We went down to Arizona, and ASU
Yep.
was playing the University of Arizona, and the winner got in a bowl game.
Yeah.
And
That
we were
would've been
downtown Scottsdale in one of those 2-story outdoor bars.
Yeah.
And I've never seen so many people go crazy and like breaking glasses and
Well, Old Town Scottsdale, all like even Kierland, like it gets rowdy there.
Oh, yeah.
I was there this summer and I was like, oh my God, I'm too old for this
Yeah.
crap. But it was fun.
So you weren't too old for that.
No, I was right in the
Yeah.
in the depths of it.
Tommy was pretending he was 30.
Tom got
Yeah.
kicked out recently in Arizona.
Yeah, I did. Whiskey Row.
See?
Yeah.
Overserved.
No.
There's a lot of apologies Tom has to make this year, apparently.
No, not for this one. This one I stand by. What? This is some snobby girls. Yeah.
I love bowl season though. Like it's
great.
it's just the first half of them are great because you watch a bunch of schools you've like partly
Don't
never
get to
heard
see.
of, and you don't get to see, and you don't know who's gonna win. Like you have no clue. And me and a buddy Lucas, we always make picks every year. He beat me
On
last
every
year.
game?
On every game. Well, so what we do is we sit down and we actually print off a sheet and we go game by game. And like if we pick the same team, we pick the same team.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, there's a lot of
How many is
separation.
there now? Like 50?
Yeah, about there.
Yeah.
Like maybe just shy or something.
You got to be
But yeah.
pretty bad not to get in a bowl game, I think.
So if you have 6 wins, you get a bowl game. You're bowl eligible. And every couple of years, depending on how good or bad the year is, a couple of 5-win teams will get in. I think only one 5-win team got in this year. So there's a lot. There's a lot of bowl games. There's a lot of weird. They have the weirdest names. Again, the Pop-Tart Bowl. But then the second half is great because it's like the meaningful
The
ones
playoffs.
where it's the playoffs. But it's even like the New Year's Six where you'd have just some really good, like the Gator Bowl or something, which isn't a playoff game, but it's just good football. And for the CFL perspective, like part of it is you never know who's going to eventually be coming
Yep.
to this league from there. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'll always
You
get
love
to-
bowl se- actually,
I,
you know
I
what?
love a college football season.
Saturday I ended up watching a lot of college football, and it was enjoyable to a certain extent.
Here's how I would explain.
And I'm not putting money on games. I know there's
No.
people out there that love it because they're betting and stuff like that. Like my one buddy, Brett, loves Oregon, and I'm like, what do you love about Oregon? I know they're a good program and have been for a while. He's like, they always make me money. And I was like, well, okay, now I get it. So I digress.
For anyone that hasn't watched college football, like the way I will explain it in the best way is it's kind of like watching the World Juniors.
Yeah.
It's great players, great athletes like that are closer in competition. I guess even just WHL in general, CHL in general, but it's mistake filled. And what
Totally.
happens when there's mistakes in hockey? It leads to a rush the other way often, back of the net. Football, you never know what's going to happen. Like a field goal is not guaranteed.
Yeah,
like a
there's
20
mistakes.
Yeah.
big mistakes, turnovers, points. You college guy or just
Not really.
No.
I'm a sports guy. I literally, my wife
like that.
always complains that all I do is watch sports. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I like.
So I like sports. Does she like soap operas and
No, she's getting into sports. Like she watches a
really?
lot more now.
like, oh man, like HGTV and
The
like
crime shows.
crime shows? Yeah. So that's your crime shows.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Right?
I love it all too.
Yeah.
Like there's not a
I'll
lot
watch
of sports.
You
Dark
watch
Horse.
Big Brother, right?
I love Big Brother.
Yeah. No.
Big Brother has there's a sports feel to it, kind of. There are competitions. You're a Big Brother guy
I'm a
too.
Big Brother guy, yeah.
But maybe not as the competitions at times can be athletic. Some of them.
I mean, if you have the slightest athletic ability on that show, chances are you're winning those somewhat athletic competitions. Like I think Survivor's more on the athletic side of things. When it comes to reality TV, it's very much Big Brother is full blown mental in my books. Like you don't have to win a competition.
No, but I don't think you win the jury vote.
No, it'd be
you need to
tough.
win a couple
It'd be tough.
things to
Yeah.
win that jury vote and convince them I won this game.
Yeah.
That's the only But that I don't think you need a lot. To your point, maybe one or two.
Yeah. Just
Late wins.
Yeah,
and you're good.
late wins are huge. But yeah.
These are
You got to be able to willing to backstab whoever you
easily.
can.
Right.
Are you a Big Brother guy?
No.
Oh,
but
okay.
The Canadian Big Brother, there was a kid from Beaumont, Derek Kessler. Shout out to him.
Yes.
He was teamed up with a girl, and
Was that Kayla?
yes, and they even dated after the show, but they ended up. She backstabbed him to keep going.
You have to be
And
ready
she
to do that.
He still dated her after?
Yeah,
It's a game.
not for long.
Oh, okay.
But it's a game, Tommy. Like, there's $100,000 on the line. Like, in the end, there's only one winner.
Yeah.
I don't know you as I'm coming in.
Okay.
Like, so you have to separate that a little bit.
Okay.
And it's I'm here to win. And if that means if we go into the house together, I'd want to work with you. But there may be
Until
a point.
the end.
There
would
may be a
backstab
point
me.
where I'm
Okay.
gonna want to get rid of you because you're also gonna want to get rid of me.
I'm in it to win it,
Exactly.
but I'll never let my teammates or brothers down.
Or then I definitely want to go in with you because you'll take the fall for me, or like you'll leave for me.
As a good older brother does.
The challenge is probably the closest. I don't know anyone that
Yeah.
to a
No.
sport because it
Yeah.
is legit.
Yeah.
Like you have to train to be on that reality show,
Those are insane competitions.
and
that
they're
go
getting
through.
like crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
I miss the old days when they were a little cheesier.
Yeah.
It's
The gauntlet through the dirt.
Isn't there like a special forces reality show happening
don't know what
too?
that is.
I keep seeing commercials for it.
and all they're climbing on that rope
Yeah.
across the two mountains, and
that'd be scary.
and apparently there's like a season finale, and I don't know what they do besides cross the rope.
Beats me.
Maybe they should get that into the bow zone. They can hunt for Tommy.
No, I'd be dead in like that fast. Like they'd find me on a couch
How
somewhere.
did they pick you for a hunting show?
You
No
know
offense.
what? This is a great question, Mick.
Yeah,
'cause
great
something
question.
popped up on my Instagram the other day, and it was
Yeah.
you and Camouflage talking about hunting, and I said, "What alternate reality did I just go into
Yeah.
here?"
Also,
Like,
I just want to
Talk about the last person I thought would be on a
Yeah.
hunting show.
Yeah.
Well, you know me, I'm an outdoorsman.
fourth season 2.
Yes,
Just fourth
this is
season doing it.
Yeah,
Just
fourth
throwing that out
season.
there
Thank
too.
you, Matthew. So Bozone Live, fourth season, last 2 episodes of the season. The hunting season ends on the 30th. So it's been tough because of the warm
No snow.
weather. Yeah, not a lot of movement during the day. The big bucks are moving at night.
Which you can't shoot him at
Yeah,
night.
yeah, after last light. So
Oh, really?
Mick, I ended up on this show as the host because my good friend Mike Bealey, who did Oil Change,
Right.
is the director of this show and producer. And he's like, I need a host. I was like, me? I'm like, I've never hunted. He's like, I just need somebody who can talk to the hunters, get us in and out of commercial, and throw to segments. And I was like, well, I can do that.
Yeah.
And so, it started during COVID. So it was very, like, everything was remote. And I was just in a studio on a green screen. And then it's kind of evolved. And you just talk to the hunters. I've gotten to know, we have great hunters. And these are like the
Are they
best
like
of the
celebrity
best.
hunters or like tour guys?
They're really well known. A lot of them are guides, and so they're splitting their time guiding right now, and then they're trying to hunt as well for the show. And then we have like Louis DeBrusque and Jason Moss on there
McIntyre?
too. No, Steve's not on there. But I think there's been talk about trying to incorporate more former athletes and stuff like that. But we have like a great cast of hunters, and yeah, you just get to learn, pick up stuff and. Yeah, I admit, like I'm not a hunter.
Have you gone out? Are you going to
No,
go out?
and that's the thing that we need to do. They're the hunters are great with me. They know and they help me along. And if I have questions, they give me the information I'm looking for. But I'll say to them, I'm like, hey, like I don't know, and they're like, surprisingly quite a bit more than I thought you would. I'm like, well, it's because they're so good with passing on information. I try to retain as much as possible. But the joke is, or not the joke, but they want to get me into a tree stand, and I'm open to it. I want to do it, and we could turn it into a feature or segment, and we can make fun of me, and like I could suit up. I'll help like cut lines
Not
and
like
lanes.
ball hockey make fun of, but just
Yeah, no, I admire ball hockey. You're tremendous athletes. I want you to know this. But yeah, like so, I if it's like -5, I'm not going. Like,
Yeah.
What?
I'm a
-5?
That's
yeah.
not that cold.
It's not that cool.
you can dress for that.
6
Tom.
hours. It's cold.
Well, probably
You could
he can't
dress.
put a toque on that hair though.
That's
Well, I would put a toque on, like, but we have great gear too. Like
Yes, so you could stay warm for 6
Yeah.
hours.
I would be miserable.
Bring
The
a
best
thermos.
boots I
Minus
have
five.
are
That's pretty soft.
hunting camouflage rubber boots.
Are they
and They
heated?
are so warm.
Are they heated?
No,
Because a
but
lot of
they're-
this stuff you can get like the heated. It's unreal.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
all of them use that, but
They're there for Tommies.
that's how I ended up on the show. And
pretty cool.
and we're into season 4, and it's been a good season. Outside of the fact that it's been tough for our hunters. I think we've had 4 or 5 bucks taken down this year. And like one year, I think we had like 12 or 13. Like, and these aren't just like the little guys. Our hunters go for like the big bucks. Yeah.
So, like, besides going on the tree for the show, has this made you want to just even go try hunting on you, like with others?
A little bit, but
Yeah.
like
but not
I'd
minus
rather
five. because that's
help
the
Have a
threshold.
hunting license?
no, I don't. I'd rather help them, like help them set up their stuff, their stands and all that, and get in there, and they could put me in the stand and be like, all right, well, this is what you're looking for, and like if they want to call in, try to bring in a buck or call one in, rattle one in, whatever. Like that'd be cool to see and experience. But
I still can't believe you think minus 5 is like the threshold of cold.
I'm a fair weather golfer, Matthew, and I
Yeah,
don't want to
but-
sit outside in the cold.
I'll say this, like to Paulie right now, if he's looking for a way to get back at you, just mock the fact that you're
Bless
soft
you.
for that.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure.
Minus 5 isn't that bad.
That was shocking to hear. Minus
I
5
think
on
like
that.
if you said minus 10,
You're from Edmonton.
Yes. No, I'm very aware of that, and I dislike cold weather.
are you a hunter?
Negative.
No.
Yeah.
No. All my friends are.
There's a lot of hunters out there, and actually, some of my buddies have been saying the same thing. Like they gave up on the season because of how little movement they're seeing or
So is
experiencing.
it because the animals aren't moving, or like they can't watch the tracks during the like?
Yeah, it's like they're not moving because it's so warm. Food sources, something to do with food sources, and so they're moving at night. It sounds like, and they're picking up a lot of movement on their trail cams at night instead of during the day, even though they're in the middle or it's the end of the rut now, but mating season, if you will. So it's been a frustrating season for the hunters.
Friends of mine went down by the Nordegg area because it was colder and they have had some snow.
Yeah,
Both got their draws.
yeah.
So.
I would have never envisioned that you need snow to be for better hunting. Like honestly,
It's
I
just
would.
the colder
cold
weather.
weather.
Colder weather is what gets them moving.
So you definitely can't hunt because if it can only happen in cold weather and minus 5 is your threshold.
And as
which,
Mick brings up,
yeah.
I do not have a hunting license.
So well, you could get that,
Sure.
but like deflanged going minus 5, LOL. Big Maple Sports cards, minus 5. I'm in a G string.
I believe that.
Joel Lavoie minus 30 to minus 40 for them, I believe. So
Oof.
I just either it's there. You know, you could dress so warm.
Now,
and
if
it's-
ODR minus 5, no problem.
but you're also moving at that
You're
point.
moving, you know, flowing.
But like it's not. It's going to be a while for ODR season. No,
Mm-hmm.
like they're doing well outside Rogers.
Yeah, but there's
Like that
pipes
ring.
under there.
No, I know. But beyond that, like
Dusty was saying him and Marshall were playing football in their outdoor.
Yeah.
rink.
what are we looking at right now? Like by the end of the
supposed
week,
to-
we're minus temps, but then it comes back up again.
Good.
Yeah.
Because today it's high as 6, tomorrow 3, Thursday minus 4, Friday minus 3, Saturday minus 2, but then 2, 4, Sunday, Monday. Now it is Edmonton weather, so that could
Can
easily
change any minute.
But that could change right now based on this winter or fall, whatever you want to officially call it. It could go up. It could also be 10 degrees. And it's been great as like just normal person. But I know
Yeah.
that this has its problems, and there's severe problems coming from this. And again, like I think
We need
like, the
moisture.
farmers
Bad
are
for the farmers.
This is not going to go well for next year for farmers, and that's
it was
not gonna
already
be
a
good.
dry year,
Yeah.
too. This text comes in via the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. My best friend went hunting first time up in the Yukon, ended up catching the 5th largest moose of all time, documented
Really?
and filmed on a hunting show with an experience. Maybe you'll have that luck, Tom. And then he went with Greg McHale on Wild Yukon. That's cool.
So this
Those-
person's not
the
much of a
moose
hunter, and they caught a big one.
was their first time hunting, and they got a monster moose.
Okay, do you know what that reminds me of? So, have you ever had a hole in one?
I have.
Oh, have you? Where'd you have one?
Colonial, the 8th hole, 185 yards.
What'd you shoot?
Chunked a 5 iron. Didn't think it actually went in. There's a bunker in front of the green. I was playing with my good buddy and his dad and my ex-girlfriend at the time. And the only guy that thought it went in was my buddy's dad, Rick. he ran up, no clubs, ran up to the green and yelled it's in. And
Wow.
it was, after that, it wasn't very good because my
Round
buddy
of
made
drinks.
me shotgun a couple beers on the next tee box.
That's worth
But
it.
like, what a rush, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because I do come from a long family of golfers.
Yeah.
And my dad and my uncles are pretty good, or my one uncle's really good. So they were always played out at the Windermere, and back in the 80s, there was lots of gambling. All the oil guys were out there. And so my dad's brother has 6,
6.
and my dad has none. And they've been the same golfer essentially their whole lives.
Yeah.
Got down really low handicaps, like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Still, I always say my dad's the best golfer I've ever seen, or the best, worst golfer, because he can go out. This is a round that he had one time. He had 6 birdies and an eagle,
Yeah.
3 triples and a bogey
Oh.
to shoot 74.
Ooh.
So that's how my dad's
There's the
golfing
massive
works.
ups and
Like
downs.
this to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd still take him in a scramble. He's lights out because he doesn't have to worry.
Yeah.
When he has that bad
But
shot,
the
it's not a big deal.
the yips are a real thing.
Oh,
'Cause
totally.
My dad got them.
My dad has a hole in one. Not a great golfer at all. Shoots consistently like 105.
Yeah.
If he breaks 100, it's a good day for him. And he's got an ace.
See, and this is where I was going with. Is like, do you have a hole in one?
Nope.
I don't.
I don't.
You don't.
No.
A lot
I've
of
come
golfers go out
close.
there.
I've
Don't.
been like-
yeah, but don't have one. Do you know who has a hole in one of all people? And for those in Edmonton that would remember him, Paul Brown used to work for the Bear.
Yeah.
Just a terrible person. He'll admit that. He'll say that himself. Terrible person. He has a hole in one at Northern Bear.
Really?
Yes.
Which hole? Not 17.
I can't remember which one it was. I was told, but like he shot it and he's just like
17's a
fooling
long
around or
one.
Long
something.
one. You can't even see the green.
And
Yeah.
like the people he was with were like, I think that might go in, and he was just goofing around because he's Paul Brown and he's a terrible person. And
like
yeah.
Ovechkin when he got his.
Yes.
Oh, right.
But like, Ovechkin was just placed on that hole, and he probably hit a bunch of shots at that hole, I think.
It was a charity tournament they
Yeah.
were in.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So to you, is that a hole in one or no?
No.
If it's not a real round,
No.
it doesn't count.
No.
I got into this argument with future Hangout guest Josh Clausen.
Hey, all right.
He's going to be on Monday. I'm with you guys. If it's not a round and you're just
Doesn't
sitting at a hole, just hitting it constantly, that's not a hole in one.
No.
It has to
agree.
be part of a round.
Yeah.
right? Like,
But Clausen says no because it's hard to hit a hole in one and you got it in from the tee box.
Doesn't matter.
you got to be playing
A
around,
friend of
right?
mine, so the 8th hole at Colonial, we were playing the back tees, so it plays out at like 215 yards.
Yeah.
He hit his first one in the water, re-teed, and knocked that one in for a par.
Yeah.
So that's still not a hole in one.
Yeah.
but
that's
it was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I never want to hit that hole in 3.
Yeah.
Like it's
if that's your first one.
Yeah.
if I'm taking the mulligan or the second that drop on the tee or something, like I want to be close. I do not want that hole in one because I will be just so upset with myself. And also, I never want a hole in one when I'm golfing alone.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
Also,
nobody
it's like a
believes
tree falling in the woods.
Yeah, did it
doesn't
happen?
matter.
I was at Garrison one year by myself, just walking later in the day, and their third hole, I think it is. It's a par 3. It's kind of like a up and down slope, and from the tee box, where the pin was, you couldn't see it, and so I hit the ball. It was a nice shot, and it was going towards that hole, but I didn't see it come up on the back end, but it was in line with that, and I was like, oh crap,
Yeah.
like. No one's gonna believe me.
Yeah.
I'll go and be like, I got a hole in one, and I didn't get it. Thank God. But that's when I learned: do not ever you don't want it because you'll never be able
You
to
need a
convince
camera
someone.
on your head.
Or go with the GoPro because you'll never hey guys, I was golfing yesterday and I hit a hole in one. And it's like, yeah, who are you with? Well, just myself.
You know what? Yeah, I agree with you on that because it's like, I don't
No one's
know
gonna
if
believe you.
I don't know.
Yeah,
if
I wouldn't
would.
tell anybody.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, what's?
And you may never get another one in your life that
I
it's.
Yeah.
You can tell your brother.
My brother won't believe me.
Yeah. Were you getting warmed up
mine
for
neither.
the Epcor golf tournament out at the Garrison or what?
Is that where it is?
They had it there the last few years. It
Have they?
wasn't there
I don't
this
know.
year.
I like Garrison. They fixed up. So they tweaked it a little bit the last couple of years. It's gotten better.
I've never played there.
Yeah, it's-
I've dropped people
it's all right.
off there. Friends that work with your brother, and
I'm sorry for
I
them
knew
for knowing
they
my
did-
brother.
Yeah, I knew they weren't going to be able to drive home, so I dropped them off.
Like a good friend does.
45 minutes from Beaumont to drop them off. And
Garrison's a nice track. It's not easy, but it's also not hard.
Yeah, that's fair.
And like, there's a couple of holes that really you could attack quite nicely.
Yeah.
There's a couple holes that you just got to play them normally.
what
you've
is your
also got
best
right
round
rights.
you've ever shot? Have you been under 80?
Yeah, no.
No.
I've only been in the 80s.
My best round is an 80.
Dead on.
Yeah.
Yours?
I careered in Tucson. First time under par and first time in the 60s, I shot 69.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And it was, I actually I started with a bogey and then a double on the second hole, so I was really mad. And the third hole at this golf course is called The Pines in Tucson. And we went there because a friend of mine used to work there. It's a big dogleg right. I'm a righty. But you can go at the green if you go all over the water. And I was mad, so I knew I was going to swing hard.
You smashed.
I hammered it, and I'm like, oh, that's so wet. It got up there, hit the rake, shot it straight at the hole, and I made a 2. So I made eagle on the par 4.
And that was the
that
turning
was
point?
the start of good things to happen.
I love that feeling where you're just like, nothing's going wrong.
But I saved the scorecard, bought a shirt, put it in a frame.
Nice. Well
Best
done.
round?
Haven't been close ever since.
84 Legends and Cattail. Yeah.
Oh, and I haven't played that cattail.
That's
it
good.
like?
They're turning it around.
Yeah, Gord Shamahorn and
Oh, is that who owned it?
Gordo and Mark Beck. There's a
Yeah.
ownership group. They've done a really good job at
Nice.
sprucing it up. They've got some great programs, youth programs there. The clubhouse is beautiful now. They've done
nice.
a great restaurant and
Really good
they're
restaurant.
doing a lot of work to the course. There was a lot of drainage issues and stuff like that when it was Hunter's Green and Lakeshore before that, but it had potential and they're working on sprucing it up. So they're great people and I'm friends with them. So I'm obviously biased, but
No,
they really
it's-
have done a great job.
They've, like, year one was a little rough, I felt, but they've turned it around and, like,
Yeah.
Well, just there's a couple of other things.
Yeah.
That but they're transitioned that really
Yeah.
nicely, and it is coming along. And I actually like that northeast part of Edmonton.
Yeah.
Between Corey, Ravencrest, Garrison, and
Legends
Cattail,
is-
and then
is
Legends
really good
across
too.
the river.
Yeah.
It's actually a nice little
Oh,
spot
yeah,
to go
there's great
golfing.
courses out there. Well, I love the quarry.
Yeah. Corey's great.
You can
Shout out
always-
to Sinsky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philpott. my boy.
My slate number 1. So when you go up to the shack, go to the
Yeah.
left. That first hole, I love that opening hole. That is my favorite.
You
hole
like that one?
I don't know why.
Is it
I just-
granite up on the hill?
Yeah, that's
Granite-
I like that.
It's a
starting
good
hole, too.
challenge. Yeah.
That's a tough one for me because I'm a lefty,
Yeah.
and the first 2 holes slope down quite a bit. That
So do you hit a big cut then?
you have to. I'm just. It's what's between the slice and a normal shot. Whatever's just in
Fade.
between. Fade. I
Power
just get
fade?
a little fade.
Power fade
but
is one of the greatest shots.
You have to, as a lefty, you kind of have to hit it at the top of the fairway because it's going to roll down.
Well, that's
Yeah.
And it's going to hit into the middle. And if you hit anywhere else, it rolls right into either the bunker or into the water. And that's why it's tough as a lefty.
Yeah.
There's some
lefty?
courses in
No,
BC that are like that.
Because everyone's a
Hyde-
righty.
Hyde Mountain. Remember there's a big hole that goes 200 feet downhill.
Oh.
And I've landed in the left rough and ended up in the right trees.
There's
I don't know how you actually hit that shot.
there's that 600-yard par 5 at Silver Sands.
Silver Sands.
I think Ron took me out there, and I played it, and then you have to split like the huge trees
Yeah.
just to get it into play, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is impossible. But yeah. Also, okay, here's a question that comes in via the inbox.
By the way, Tom Gazzola, Matt Iwanyk, Andrew Peard, voice of the Oil Kings, and Mick from Beaumont, winner of the October draw for the Nasty Club to join us here on the Hangout presented by Mott's Clamato Caesar.
Okay, this is for everybody. Boys, would you consider a hole-in-one at Dragon's Head? Hole was
Yes.
128 yards. Had a debate with buddies on this. 18 chances per round because it is an
par three
executive
course.
par 3. Yeah,
Par 3.
So that would count.
That would count.
It's a hole-in-one.
Hole-in-one. Okay.
It's a course. It's a round.
130 are, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Because it's not like you may have 18 par 3s that you're playing, but they're all different.
Right.
Whereas
okay,
if you're sitting at a hole for like a tournament,
Right.
being that charity, you're taking the exact same shot over and over. And You know, what's
I
the
did
thing?
that this year.
Did you?
But didn't sink any.
But it's like people say I'm the greatest like two putter ever, or whatever. Like you give me a second shot at something, generally I'm going to be better than my first shot.
Well, yeah,
Right.
of course.
So now give me 18 shots.
I took 144 shots. I still didn't sink one.
How'd you feel?
It was a long day.
Yeah.
The funny part is there was a young lady that was coming up and somebody was telling me how good she was and all this. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to hit it closer than her. And well, she goes in and hits one to like 4 feet. So it's all a charity. I mean,
Right.
You can donate money and I'll hit a shot for you. Well, she's like, I don't need your shot. I'm like, well, I'll hit for free anyway because I want to beat you.
Yeah.
And I hit the flag, but
Oh.
it bounced so far off the green and went in the water. But it was fun.
Tube Sock says Sandpiper in that little cluster of courses around.
That's more west.
Yeah, same
that's-
with Meadowview is also a little west there.
Because then you have Edmonton
too.
Springs over there. Trying to think if private wise,
Glendale's
there's
over
Glendale,
Yeah,
which
Glendale.
is beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Then that's more there. That's the west,
That's
northwest
that's
side.
St. Albert, yeah.
That's you cross St. Albert Trail to
Yeah.
get there. So, and then we can go. I could spend
There's
all
a
day
lot
just
of,
talking
lot
about
of great courses, yeah.
Well, Alberta also it's some of the best courses you'll find in Alberta are rural golf courses.
Yeah.
Like Innisfail golf course is
Innisfail's
27
good.
holes, and it is amazing.
Yeah, Barhead's got a great course.
Yeah. White Court.
Whitecourt has a good course. Yeah.
I like Cougar Creek, even though it's kind of
Creek.
was a stony plain
The
area.
the first hole makes me mad because they put the tree right in front of the tree in the middle of the fairway.
Yes.
I can hit trees when they're way over on the side. Don't put one in the fairway.
Cougar Creek is where I got hurt.
That's where you got
Oh,
hurt?
really?
18th hole. It was
Really?
it
Tried
was
to
so
go
it's-
over the water.
It was 18th. We're trying to go over the water, swing as hard as we can. I of course lift my head a little bit, club right into the ground.
Did it to yourself,
And that was when it
Matthew.
first happened. So 18th hole Cougar Creek. I love that course though, but I have to drive by it every so often when I go visit my parents in the summer at their lot out of town, and I always look at 18th on the highway and go, "Oh, that's where it all happened."
Yeah.
I've birdied 18 a couple of I like
Have you?
that. Yeah, I like that hole.
But you can it depends how aggressive you are.
Yeah. You
could
I
get
don't
there
hit
in
it
one.
very far, but if you
Put it in
go
a nice
at one-
spot off the tee, and you
I
can
get
attack the
within 50
pin.
yards.
Yeah.
I can't drive the green.
Yeah.
I've played a few tournaments out there where with my brother and a couple buddies, and between the three of them, not me,
They'll go at
somebody could get it on the green, and
Oh,
we're,
yeah,
we're going
it's
for
reachable.
eagle. Like we're
Yeah.
going for eagle
Yeah.
pretty easily.
Yeah.
So, but it's just so tempting when
Oh, I
you're
know.
at that hole and you're staring. Have you ever played Cougar Creek?
I have not. No.
So it's
Great
like
course.
you could go straight in the fairway. It's like it's a pretty narrow fairway still, but you go straight, and then it's like almost a 90-degree to the hole.
Yeah.
Or you could just go right for the hole across water.
Yeah, essentially back at
And-
the clubhouse.
Yep.
And it's just
Aim
like
for the
when you're
clubhouse.
looking at it, it doesn't look that far. That
It's
you
far.
It is, but when you're standing there, like, and well, of course, you're a
Yeah.
golfer and you think, I could hit anything.
Yeah.
It looks like, I think it's, if I recall correctly, I think it's 230 to clear the water.
Clear the
Carry.
water.
I think to carry the water, it's 230.
And to get on the green, you're probably 250
Another 50.
in the air.
Yeah. So you need to really have that great shot. But you sit there and you go, especially liquid courage for some of them.
Yeah.
By that time, yes.
Well, on 18th
And
hole,
also, actually, with golf, there's a lot of issues with the golf balls right now that they're trying to change that with the pros.
yeah, but the
Roll it back, and because
they're
they're
hitting it too far.
apparently there's now talk that they might extend that to everyone.
yeah.
Where they're going to change it, so the only golf balls regular people could buy
I can
too will
only
be
hit
the
it
ones,
250 now.
and that's So they might actually like the ruling is supposed to come relatively soon.
Wasn't JT? He popped off about that, didn't he?
So did Rory.
Yeah.
But if there's one thing to
Why are
do
you
is
penalizing them for being good?
Yeah.
And why are
They
you
can't make the
hurting us
courses long enough
hackers?
is the problem.
Yeah, they can.
That's the problem.
you can't. We're now you're growing. You're having to take the tee boxes too far back
Yeah.
now. Or the problem is because they're hitting it so far. Like when these architects design these courses, they put the bunkers or water in certain spots.
Yeah.
And now if
Now
they're
they
just
can just
if you're
fly
bombing
over
it
it.
past it,
Yeah.
Why don't you limit?
Get one.
Why don't you limit the driver heads and the
or the length.
yeah?
because it's the ball. A
It-
big part of
well,
big
part of
technology
it
is the ball. But I'm okay with it pro golfer wise because they're good enough.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Don't extend that to the average golfer. if we want to go and hit the golf balls that we have right now, let us. Like, who cares
I'd
if
go buy a crate full.
Yeah.
who cares if
that.
I could hit it 270 now because I'm using these balls? Why are you making me now all of a sudden have to hit 230 again or whatever it is? Golf's tough.
It's very hard. Rusty says Water Valley is the biggest hidden gem in all of Alberta to play. Great trip, and the course is simply amazing. I've never even heard of it.
Me neither.
Water
What's it
Valley.
called? Water Valley.
Water Valley, yeah.
You say where it was?
No.
Water Valley.
Another text says
Water Valley, Alberta.
Do a shout out to Trestle Creek, biggest hidden gem within driving distance of Edmonton. I haven't played Trestle
played
Creek.
there.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
I love
Just see you keep going west from Cougar.
I love Coal Creek. Coal Creek is shout out to the Rasmussens. They're awesome out there.
We do a Ryder Cup out there. 40 of us go out
Fantastic.
every year. We camp at the Black Nugget there.
Yeah, they've got the whole camping area, and I love that
unbelievable.
course. It's fantastic.
So Water Valley, Alberta is just north of Cochrane.
Okay.
So around the Calgary area.
Yeah.
Okay.
South of Olds, north of Cochrane.
Okay. So that'd be sort of in the Sundry area,
On
who also
22?
has a very nice
Yes.
golf course.
Sundry's-
Sundry.
We
On
played
22.
Sundry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that
love
course
that golf course.
very
It's
lush.
hard.
Yeah, it is
It's
hard.
tough. Yeah.
It's very picturesque too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it beat us up pretty
Oh
good.
my god, that was
Links at
lovely.
Glen Eagles is a nice course too. In
Yeah.
Cochrane.
Yeah,
It's kind of cool. You look over the whole town pretty much.
that's neat. I like that. I like elevation, and to me, that's the best.
One of the best golf trips you can do is go in the Kimberley Canmore
Yeah.
area
Oh, yeah?
or Cranbrook, sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At some of the course, there's 10 courses in there that are phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's
You got
Dusty's
Bootleg
backyard.
out there.
Bootleg, St.
Kimberly's.
Eugene, Kimberley Golf
Yeah.
Club,
Yeah. I had a buddy do a bachelor
Wildstone.
party out there. It was awesome.
Hyde Mountain. They're all unbelievable.
Wow.
I've never done the BC Golf yet. And I've only heard
haven't either.
amazing
It's
things about it.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
going to
Even in
Kelowna or
Kelowna,
anywhere. Like,
Kelowna's they're a lot more money.
yeah.
because
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're paying a couple $100 usually.
Yeah. Kimberly Cranbrook, very affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We brought our own shuttle, and there was 12 of us that went
Yeah.
for a buddy's birthday, and it was a blast.
A small regret I had is I was in San Diego, and I could have got on.
Torrey
Well, we could have got on South. My brother and dad didn't want to buck up the money. It was
not cheap.
300 American, 350 American or something. So it was like it would be a $500 round.
Yeah.
I wanted to do
That's
it.
like
but
the Wynn golf course.
It's the most expensive golf club, public course. Or
Really?
I think Wynn
It's
is
like
one of the most.
$350 around. I think.
thought.
Well,
US.
Pebble
Maybe
Beach
it's
is more
not.
than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you have to stay in the hotel now or something.
It's the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
package. Golf course rates. I thought the Wynn was supposed to be like one of the most expensive golf courses there was.
It is super expensive.
There now this was from 2021, $600, making it one of the most expensive public access courses in the world.
Whoa.
Gross.
No thanks.
And now you get a golf while there's a sphere just looking at you.
That sphere is actually kind of cool.
It is pretty
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's losing. How much did you say it had lost? We talked about it last week.
$95 million, I think it was.
Yeah. And then it's 600 grand for advertising for the weekend.
400,000 for a day.
Yeah.
And I think for like a 3-day span or something, it's like 650.
What was? I'm sure the F1 was even more. What was it when F1 was there?
But F1, I think, took it over because they
Well,
had
'cause
like
it was
race
different
stats. Did they have ads?
There
and
was
stuff?
ads on there,
Oh, okay.
too.
They had a really cool Spider-Man one on there because the new Spider-Man game came out.
I would say, like, if I was a Vegas resident, I could see how that would be just annoying as hell. This massive light that
Yeah.
is
You
just
could see
on
it
at
from
all
everywhere.
times
'Cause this is a
would
valley,
probably
right?
really annoy me if I was a resident of Las Vegas. As visitors, which is kind of what Vegas is all about,
Right.
though, I want to get there. I'll go see you too there. I don't care. I just want to be in that sphere.
It looks sweet.
Well, like I had some friends go for a concert, and
And?
they said it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
What are its abilities? Just concerts or?
Well, UFC wants to go
Shows.
there.
Okay.
Yeah. There's
But
talk about
it's-
the NHL draft being there.
Yeah. So like how it is it's almost like a massive Jubilee
Okay.
auditorium where like the seats are facing one way.
Yeah.
So it's not a circle or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
just they build up. And there's
like the screen, it like goes above your head too.
yeah. And if you're on the 100 level, there's actually the if you're in the further back of it, there's a roof that blocks some of the sphere from you.
That's
They say actually though that my friends were saying they had fairly good seats, but a little bit further back, like 20, 25 rows back, is better than being front row.
okay. Well, that makes sense because the screen isn't just in front of you; it's above you too,
Yeah,
right?
and so you're looking up.
Yeah.
The expensive seats are the 300 and 400s, I
Right.
believe. there,
It was
which
when
is completely
Bezos from
opposite.
Amazon was
Yeah.
in the 400 level. They had a picture of him and his wife or whatever, girlfriend. Yeah.
We should build one in Edmonton, just cause.
The one
Just
in London got shut
Take
down.
the tennis balls and make them bigger.
Yeah.
Let's put Edmonton on the map.
Let's go.
Let's
Sphere.
crowdsource
They
that
tried
one.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. But the one in London got shut down, I think, this past week. The
Was
mayor
it?
of London said,
I know there was
Nope.
it was being under review or something.
Yeah. And he said,
Oh, I didn't know.
no,
they
thank
built one
you.
out there.
They were
Yeah, and
trying to.
There was another place that they were talking about building one.
I think
too.
Dubai has like a miniature sphere type
Does it?
thing or something.
Well,
They
I'm
have
sure they'll
everything,
get one.
Yeah.
It's
Sure they'll build a bigger one.
Yeah.
just what's next, you know?
I don't
like.
know.
I don't know who came up with
I
this
don't know.
idea, but it's amazing. I'm just it's always intriguing what's going to be next, but there's always it's like back in was it the 70s or whatever? Was it the Omniplex it was called or whatever? Where it was going to be the hockey rink and the
Oh,
football
yeah.
for Edmonton downtown
Where they
in
would
one
lift
building,
the-
and you lift up the
The
football
rink,
field,
I
or
think,
was
something
it the
like
hockey
that.
rink?
Yeah. Omniplex, yeah.
Omniplex.
Yeah, there's still images out there of it, and there's like cross sections of how they would raise one of the fields or the rink, and below it would be the other playing surface, and it was like 30,000 seats. Didn't happen, obviously.
Maybe that's what the Coyotes need to do with the
Oh my goodness.
pushing the because they move their grass out at that stadium.
Yeah, and they do that in Vegas too.
Do they?
Yeah, really neat. Although the grass last year at the Super Bowl apparently was terrible.
Brutal.
They brought in new grass that they grew for the Super Bowl.
That was the problem, I think.
and they said it was worse than the field that they had for the Cardinals all season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if that was the CFL would just get ripped for.
Well, the
For doing
NFL got
something
the
stupid.
NFL's
Well, they
been
got
getting
ripped.
Wasn't
yeah,
as
absolutely.
but people like CFL's a joke because of this.
That's
That's
a
the thing.
go-to.
I know.
That's a go-to. But like the NFL got ripped, the players ripped playing surfaces. Was it earlier this year? I think it was MetLife Stadium. The playing surface was getting absolutely destroyed by the players,
Yeah.
and it's a turf, the new synthetic turf, because they're always upgrading the field turf, and like players around the NFL are like the turf conditions are crap. This,
Well, they
that.
want the players now want just regular natural grass
Yeah.
everywhere. They
Especially
spend the
for-
money. Let's
for
get it done.
soccer.
Type thing. With soccer,
soccer,
That was
especially.
a huge issue.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, if
I missed that from Commonwealth. I'm not gonna like. During our watch along, I actually was just on my phone quickly, and on YouTube popped up for some reason the '97 West final between the Eskimos at the time and the Rough Riders, and I was just quickly scrolling and just seeing that grass.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that
Well,
brings
it's
me
frozen
back,
and-
and it's got that color, like it wasn't lush green.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what it's supposed to look like at
Muddy.
that time of the year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I miss that, and maybe that's what the new owners could bring back.
Well, if we had the World Cup games here, they would have to have put grass back
Yeah.
in. at
But they would have
Commonwealth.
taken it out after.
The
right?
field needs to be replaced at Commonwealth.
Yeah.
It's almost 10 years old, by the way. And you go walk around there, and you're like, oof, it's in rough shape. And the drainage. Remember last year that game against Calgary when a big storm
Oh,
hit
yeah.
and it bubbled up, and that's when you know it needs some TLC. So it would have been nice to see grass back at Commonwealth. Nobody complains about the field at BMO.
No.
They like it. It's natural
The issue
turf.
with BMO, the only thing is that in the end zone, it's natural grass to a certain point.
Yeah.
And then in like the last 5 yards or whatever is artificial turf.
But they've
and
improved
they slipped on it.
Yeah, they've improved the quality of the artificial turf.
No one ever complains about natural grass.
No.
It's the only people the accountants complain.
Because of the price to
Cost,
maintain.
maintain all that. That's who
Yeah.
complains about it. Then what happens in
You
this
need a
world?
golf greenskeeper to take care of your grass. They
Yeah.
know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do.
And
I
there's
know
the
a guy.
advantage. Yes, you do.
Grant
And then,
Cannon.
like there's the advantage. Like the Eskimos at the time, they always had it. Like no one could do walkthrough on our field.
Yeah.
Like so you couldn't. The visitors couldn't come in and we're protecting this field and stuff. And,
Yeah.
And then of course you have a guy like Dwayne Mandrusiak who then has all the cleats right, knows what
Ready
cleats
to
are
go.
needed for his team, and the other trainers are having to figure it out on the fly. But Dwayne knows exactly what to do because it's his turf.
Yeah.
And that's the home field. More sports needs to have home field advantage.
Yeah, that's kind of gone by the wayside. I remember like
Yes.
the old arenas would have different dimensions.
Yeah.
Boston, Buffalo. I think Chicago Stadium was a little bit wonky too.
Square corners.
Square corner. Vancouver had those square corners at Pacific Coliseum.
How are the visitor rooms for the Oil Kings often?
It's
like
good.
is it?
It's very rarely that you run into a place where it's not accommodating. It's a little trickier in like Portland where they're playing at the old War Memorial down there.
I like that arena. It's really neat.
It is so cool. It's one of my
Glass
favorite places
Palace.
to go to. It is such a unique atmosphere because that place was not built for hockey.
No.
Never was purposed for that, and now it is a hockey arena, but it certainly doesn't look like one.
No.
But they do a good job of having a good atmosphere there. But no, I mean we're losing it a little bit. I mean some places, like Medicine Hat, that was home ice advantage for the Medicine Hat Tigers down there. But now they built sort of a mini Rogers Place just in basically Red Cliff outside of town, and it doesn't have the same feel. Moose Jaw did the same thing. They had the Crush Can. That was, without question, the hardest rink to go into in the Western Hockey League. Now they just have a nice modern arena, and everyone's got nice facilities.
Brandon?
Brandon, I mean it's one of the two left that has benches on other opposing sides,
yes.
which is really cool. But everyone's made upgrades to the visitor facilities, so I'm sure right now if Rogan Dean's watching this right now, he's like, you're lying. This rink's terrible. This rink's terrible. But for what it used to be, it's come a long way. But a lot of these older rinks are starting to go by the wayside, even in the Western Hockey League, which is sad to see.
Did you guys go to the new cities like the U.S. this year?
No, we went there last year. We do go to Everett for one game this year on our BC trip. But that's it.
Yeah, so you're not Wenatchee, is it?
Yeah, we
don't go there.
We won't get to see that one till next year.
Okay.
So I heard it's a nice rink down there though. So I mean they've done a great job with. It started with a North American Hockey League team to a BCHL team to now a WHL team. So things seem to be going good down there. So.
When I hear like Rogers Place is like one of the nicest visitor rinks in the NHL, I hate that. Just absolutely hate it.
It's very comfortable.
And I don't want
nice.
that.
It's spacious, and
I would not want that. Well, if I was Daryl Cates building that, I'd be like,
You're not in the NHL though, man.
Is that comfortable? Great. Make it less comfortable.
Yeah.
Find a way to make it less. That's sports.
Like, don't go put metal in the benches or anything. Like the brackets of the benches.
Turn the heat up in the dressing room a little bit. Turn off the hot water.
Harry and Langer do that when they want to kick media out of the Oilers locker room. And now you can, I've said this before, you can see the thermostat inside the room. And when it goes red, the heat's on.
Yeah.
And you just look at them and you're like, Langer, Harry, what are you guys doing? And then in the old room, the thermostat was around the corner. So you couldn't tell when they crank it up. But I always see Harry go back there and he'd be like, time to get out. And I'd be like, don't do it. And he would like pump it up. And you're like, oh, dirty tricks. Tube Socks chimes in, says the Odd had that wonky Zamboni entrance door where the maintenance staff could push the doors out when the puck was rimmed around the boards and it would ricochet right in the front of the net. Yeah. I think there was like a kick plate. Where
was this?
In Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
At the auditorium, yeah. There was like a kick plate in the Zamboni entrance where you could...
We used to have that in Beaumont. There was on the left side of the rink going into the away team's end. Where the Zamboni came out, it was one of the stanchions could kick the puck out right into the slot.
That's a unique arena, Mick, as I know, and
the slot.
Yeah.
Just boop.
Yeah.
It was a very unique arena.
Let's get into movers and shakers, which is brought to you by Marco and Mike, Realty One Group Insider. Let Marco and Mike earn your trust. Visit marcoandmike.com for more information. I do want to quickly just go back to the Oil Kings for a bit. It is World Juniors time we're coming up on. I know, like, the Oil Kings, it's that transition still up. Is there any, maybe not even just Canada, is there any players that you guys might be sending off to the World Juniors? Or
yeah, we're anticipating Team Czechia to come calling for our two imports. Not saying they're going to make the team, but I'd imagine they'll be in their selection camps. Adam Yeko, 17-year-old player for us this year. He's likely to be a first-round draft pick, so and he's off to a great start this year. He's injured right now, but we're hoping to get him back right away. And Wojtek Port, our import defenseman, in his second year, he's drafted by Anaheim. So we think those guys will get a look from Czechia. So that's really exciting for us. And then we're hoping, down the line, we'll start to see a guy like maybe a Blake Fiddler, who's a 16-year-old defenseman for us. We don't know which country he's going to choose because he's a dual citizen. Interestingly enough, he's the son of Vern Fiddler, of course, former NHLer, and this past summer, he played for the under-17 Team USA at the Five Nations tournament. He was their captain, helped them win a silver medal. And then earlier this month, he helped Team Canada win a gold medal at the World Under-17 Challenge. So,
do you have to make a decision and you're stuck with that decision for like the rest of your career? Or
yes, at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup, I believe, which will be coming up for him, that's when he'll have to make a decision.
And you're locked in.
And then you're locked in.
Just like Brett Hull.
Yeah.
Brett Hull was out of spite, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he didn't make the Canada team.
Yeah. Thought so.
So they say.
Yeah.
Why? To a degree, I think you go where you're going to have the better playing time.
Yep. Yep.
I would think, in a sense, or it's because I don't think you're looking between those two countries. Like, it's like, we're going to have a better chance to win with. Like, you will have a chance to win with both.
Yeah.
Like, soccer-wise, when you select your nation, you're stuck with them. Like, for years, Canada didn't have some people because, well, Canada's not going to do anything, and you're never going to get on the global stage.
Right.
Now you get that, you have that competition a little bit, but, Canada, U.S., I don't know. Like, I don't know who I would take if you're that dual. It's
tricky.
It is Canada. Like, it's still Canada. If you can win with Canada, it's great, but I don't know.
Hockey
It's
USA
probably
is
going to
a
be
great program.
Yeah.
Well, are they back here? Like, is Vern living back?
No, they're
in the
still
area?
his family's. They live in down just outside of Dallas.
Yeah.
But Vern's been up here quite a bit. I know he was here last week, and they're very much involved. And it's funny because Manny Arsenault with the Edmonton Elks, he lives down by the Fiddlers, and he's a personal trainer in the off season, and he happened to train.
No way.
During this off season. So and then through Brian Cheeseman, of course, there's just been some great connections between the Oil Kings and the Elks. So it's a very small world.
Yeah.
And it's been neat having the Fiddler family involved, and then of course next year we're going to have the Iginla family joining us with the Oil Kings with young Joe Iginla.
Vern Findler was on Hello Hockey in season 1, and he was a phenomenal guest. Like, he opened up on, and he just shredded like after you retire and how you're treated and all of that. Like, he was great. I would like to get him back on. Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah.
That was.
How much do the players enjoy when like he comes around?
Oh, like tons.
Because you got this former NHLer just walking around and stuff.
He's a
like,
character.
Yeah, he's got a great personality. He's a tremendous resource for the team, and I mean we've been so lucky because I mean we have Vern that'll be around a little bit, and then we've got Laddie Schmid who's hanging around as a development coach, and Kyle Chipchura this year, who's a development coach who was just an incredible junior hockey player, had a good professional career as well. So our players are pretty spoiled from that regard. So.
And they have
you're in the rink with the Oilers, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're in the same rink as the Edmonton Oilers with Connor and Leon. It's the down the hall type thing. You're sharing the same ice as them.
Yeah.
And they have Rogan Dean.
And you got Rogan Dean, without question, the best equipment manager in the Western Hockey League, and I will say it till I'm blue in the face. He is too good for the Western Hockey League. We're glad he's here.
Yeah.
We're so happy we have him. But
NHL caliber.
Yeah,
I'll just say this: only WHL, not CHL. Interesting.
CHL. Sorry.
Interesting.
Sorry.
Okay. Very intrigued by that one.
We don't.
Very intrigued that we only looked at the Western Hockey League, but okay.
We don't really care much about what the OHL and the QMJHL are doing. They don't care what we're doing. So.
How much longer do you guys have to break? Is it 3 weeks or so? Or
we got
it goes pretty close.
Yeah, we go till December 17th, but then we come right back. We're on the bus up to Prince George on December 26th, kicking off a.
That seems early.
Well, first game is 27, so.
Is that always that quick when the World Juniors gets going?
Yeah. So.
I guess maybe I'm just losing it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a nice break though. You're done on the 17th. We're done at home, which is nice, so you can finish the game and go to wherever everybody needs to go, airports or in the car on the way home to drive to where everybody's going. So it's good. It's good, and it's a nice break because the first half of a WHL season, it's rigorous. I mean, we have a long training camp, and it's kids a lot of times away from home for the first time. So
and that starts in August.
Yeah,
for people. Like it's
So it's nice, and it's always fun. It's interesting to watch the games a couple weeks out of the Christmas break because you start to see the young minds start to wander to going home and seeing family and friends. But usually once you get them back after Christmas, everyone is dialed in. They're excited to be back, and they know the task at hand. So that's really when the WHL season kicks into full gear, and really exciting for us ahead.
Well, and for anyone that's just a WHL fan too in general. Like, the trade deadline happens really quick after the new year, and which is always fun to pay attention to and what's going on and what might not be happening. There's always all sorts of movement and stuff. So
Kurt Hill's like this right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, he's had to be busy this year. We've had a laundry list of injuries, so he's been a busy man, but he's got the team pointing in the right direction.
Excellent.
I'll throw this to you too. Actually, two that I'll throw to you. What's the concession prices like at an Oil King game? Same prices as an Oiler game for kids?
Isn't there a great new initiative?
Yes, that's a great question. We have $10 kids food combo starting at $10, or not starting, as much as $10. We got, it's a hamburger, fries, and pop for $10. We're not talking like a little slider and a little juice box.
No, you're feeding your kid.
It's a full blown meal. If you don't want that, I mean, you can get a popcorn and a pop for your kid for $7.50. It's tremendous value. It is significantly cheaper than a lot of other sporting events around town if you go to their concessions. So it's a new initiative this year, and it's been unbelievable. We got the candy cart set up too.
There's a candy cart?
Yeah, there's a candy cart right when you
I'm a
walk in
sucker
the
for
door.
candy.
So we get the kids all hopped up on sugar and ready to
Perfect.
to cheer their hearts out for 2.5 hours, and hopefully tucker them out enough that the sugar wears off. So
Yeah, I'm sure the parents go home so thrilled that should was handed out at the start of that game.
If the kids are in the back like this, then they're very happy.
Yeah.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
And then also any younger Oil King prospects that the organization is excited about.
Well,
Let's sell that a little more.
Yeah, Joe Iginla. He was our first round pick at this past WHL prospects draft. He's having a tremendous season out at the Rink Hockey Academy in Kelowna. He's going to be ready to rock and roll as a 16-year-old next year.
Wow.
And we're starting to see it now. I mean, it was not long ago. You had a 16-year-old on your team, or maybe two, and it was more or less just to get their feet wet a little bit. And you got them their 40 games, and you just wanted them to get experience with life in the Western Hockey League. But nowadays we see it. These 16-year-olds are coming in, and they are contributing to their team's success. And we're hopeful Joe can do that next year. He obviously has a great lineage, being the son of Jerome Iginla. His older brother, Tej Iginla, right now playing for the Kelowna Rockets, is having just a phenomenal season. And we're hopeful that Joe is going to be as good a player there. Blake Fiddler, who's playing for the team right now, he's a big part of our D moving forward. Cage Smith, we've got a prospect in Parker Snell, a goaltender that we took in the second round, playing for NAX. Last year he didn't lose a game. He didn't lose a game of hockey, and we're excited for him. He's probably 16-year-old goalies are tough. He might be a 17-year-old when he starts in WHL, but this team, the cupboards are full. For anyone wondering, and you're going to see in the second half this year this team take another step forward, leading into next year where we really become a team that's back in the mix, and a team that will be certainly in the playoffs next year, if not this year, if we can get on a nice little run here.
Peard, that's a quick turnaround too, considering you guys won the Oil Kings won the Western Hockey League 2022.
Yep.
So
Should have won a couple years prior too, but things
Yeah,
derailed that.
COVID.
They would have won a few more, which was a shame for those kids.
It's crazy to think like the team we had in 2022 with Jake Neighbors, Dylan Gunther, Caden Gooley, Justin Sordiff, Sebastian Costa. Those are all going to be guys that are NHL players.
Yeah.
The team we had the year before was better than that, but it was COVID and we played 23 games or
Right.
whatever it was, and nobody got to come see them play, and it was heartbreaking, but is what it is.
Movers and Shakers brought to you by Marco and Mike, Realty One Group Insider. This is the EST Hangout presented by Mott's Clamato Caesar, top Caesar brand in the country with over 400 million cans crushed every year by Canadians. Tom Gazzola, Matt Iwanyk with you alongside Andrew Peard, voice of the Oil Kings, and Mick from Beaumont, Nasty Club winner. And with the Nasty Club, actually the shirts came in today. We're missing only one more piece for all those membership bundles.
What?
The mugs.
Oh, the coffee mugs. Yeah.
I'm following the Pure Later packaging. They say tomorrow. I'm waiting. It's in Richmond, BC right now.
You've been all over this.
I just need them to come, and then I can fully put all those bundles together and get them out there. Membership cards are done. Everything else, it's almost done. I need those cups now to arrive. So I was very happy when those shirts arrived today.
This has been your baby. Like, I've watched you handle it with tender love and care.
I want people like Mick need their package.
Yes, absolutely.
I was hoping to get it today, Matty.
I was so.
Now I got to drive back.
If only the mug. I could give you most of everything except the mug if you'd like.
Yeah.
But then
You
you'd have
should
to
have
drive
seen
back to
him
the mug.
last week, Mick. The way he bought a laminator. We
I
talked
was
about it. He
laminator
got a
all
great
day.
deal on Amazon. And he was learning. He was like, "Oh, I can't get these damn cards to print."
No, that was the printer.
And then he started laminating, and then he wouldn't stop laminating. And
Well, they
he's
have to be
like,
laminated.
He was bragging to us about the lamination process. He's
So
like, "If you
are
guys
the sheets for the meeting, are they all laminated?
No.
Okay.
That's Dusty's meeting. I don't run those meetings.
Yeah.
I'm not wasting my time with
Dusty
those ones.
uses the good paper on
Yeah,
those.
he uses like this thick card
it's
paper.
great.
That's
yeah.
really
It's
weird.
great.
But also, I bought a cutter this weekend.
I heard you
to cut
cutting
those.
yesterday.
And I was spent all day cutting them.
Yeah, no,
to
I
to
heard
make
it.
them nice and
Cutting
tight.
the cards.
to try to get
Coming
them.
from the office, just,
It was just, I'm sure it was really annoying for
he's very
everyone in the room.
meticulous. He was probably
But-
great at Lego back in the day.
I love the Lego.
No surprise.
Maddie's
expensive
He's
nowadays.
the organizer here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
no,
it's-
He's
no
like
denying
J-Mo.
that.
I want that nasty club. Just I need those mugs. I need those mugs, and I'm ready to go. Tonight, you are going down to Rogers Place.
I am.
It is an Oiler game. How big of a game is this for this club?
I think it's huge because everybody's talking about we're rebounding. Vegas isn't playing that well right now. They lost to Calgary last night in overtime. However, it's still the Golden Knights. They're going to come in here. They're going to be out angry. We can't show up and just throw a dud.
Lollygag.
Like, we have to come out with some intensity. And that was when we were in our big losing streak at the beginning of the year. That was the biggest thing I saw was we had no intensity, and maybe the goalie would let in a soft one. Well, then the whole team fell flat.
Totally.
And it was just a wave after wave after wave, and we couldn't get out of it.
Yep.
And maybe a game like this is what we need. Like, get Evander to go in the corner and muck it up with Pietrangelo and start something and get everybody involved. Like,
Yeah. You know what's funny? I was thinking about this on the drive in. It's almost like Dusty made a comment. He goes, the Oilers, like he was comparing the Oilers to Max Verstappen, saying how Verstappen just crushed the F1 season, won everything, barely lost a race, all that. And people anticipated this kind of being the Oilers type of season that they could have. I certainly was expecting this to be a pretty good year for the Oilers. And at the start of the year, I was saying, why can't the Oilers just have nice things? Why couldn't this just be a breeze of a season? And then that thought came back to me as I was listening to Dusty make the comparison to Verstappen. And it's almost like this group, and Mick, you're talking about the mentality, lack of intensity, all of that. It's almost like they need to be behind the 8 ball to get their ass in gear.
And we've
you know
always
what I mean?
been like that. Like,
Yeah.
in the 90s, like when we beat Dallas and beat Colorado, like
Oh, those are great
it
series.
was, or Detroit.
Yeah.
Like, we were the underdog. That's what Edmonton is. Like,
It's the
crazy.
hardworking town.
Well,
and
and
those teams really
Yeah.
resembled the people of Edmonton
in
back in the day.
2017, it was Saravalli's fault. Like, he said, "Oh, watch the Oilers next year, Cup contenders." No, fell off the map.
Yeah, they did. They really did.
Frank.
Yeah,
It's all
Blame
Frank's
Frank.
fault. He also predicted again this year.
I know.
And so did Greg Wyshynski.
Yeah, Wyshynski.
And so
We're all
did a
supposed
A
to
lot
bunch
of
of
people. A lot of people. And they
So
did
the
a
Oilers
good job.
should never be given the moniker at the start of the season Stanley Cup favorites.
Exactly.
Otherwise, they're going to crumble.
It goes right to their head.
Touche.
It does. Like,
Touche.
they need to be the underdog.
Yep. It's weird, right? Like
Yep.
they always have to be up against it. And
There's all sorts of weird things with the Oilers. Like J-Mo always said, afternoon games, we can't win them.
No, he hates that.
No, I know, but
Yeah,
we don't
he-
win them.
but
I
then
know,
they
you're right.
smashed the
But
the
Dave
Caps
hates when
last
we bring
year.
that one up. He
Yeah.
can't
And
stand that.
then the other thing is that I've noticed, I don't know if anybody else ever says this, but when we have a break of like 2 or 3 days in between games, we're terrible. We have to play every second day or back-to-backs or something, and it keeps them engaged.
Yeah.
They have a lag in between games, they're brutal.
So next week they'll be brutal because they
Right,
play
we have
Wednesday.
5 days
Five
off.
days off.
And
Yeah.
so it's or whatever it is. So that'll be
Yeah,
the tough
yeah.
part. Do you guys anticipate we'll see the Oilers focus on Pietrangelo tonight, or are they focusing on the game?
I think
Go
the
ahead, go
2
ahead.
points are too important to
Yeah.
be worried about what happened last year at this point.
They better be focused on the game.
I feel like they've spoiled their opportunity to get retribution because they need to, like Peardo said and like Mick's saying.
So if they were
Hone in on the game.
this season had been a better start,
Then-
then that could have maybe crept in a little more of a conversation of
Absolutely.
what they're going to do.
Then you can worry about the taking care of settling scores and all that. But
I can't stand that in baseball. No, I'm not gonna like that. They
kinda like
carry
You
the
don't like
grudges.
that? I
don't.
love that.
I think
I
it's
hated
great.
the fact that Bautista had to get beamed by the Rangers or whatever it was,
That was
a
one
year
of the best
later or
punches
something.
ever in sports.
right?
Awesome.
It was just. It happened the year before. Like, deal with it.
Altuve's been
Go beat
getting
them.
high heat, although he's
Well,
they
always
cheated.
getting high
Yeah,
heat.
they are
but
cheaters.
Well, think about the Texas Rangers next year, and who's the guy that had that great postseason for them this year? And he was bat flipping and marching around the bases. Like there are receipts in his name for next
Yeah.
year, and it is going to be fun to watch those get cashed in.
Yeah.
They're going to take the bat to second base with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do just have to say this quickly. I am stunned Brian Cashman still has a job, as does Aaron Boone. I am stunned
here we go.
that they still have jobs.
Cashman, yes. Boone, I'm indifferent on. I enjoy Aaron Boone. I enjoy his passion. But Brian Cashman, to me, failed the organization with his inability to construct the roster properly.
Yeah.
Starting with the infield and the starting pitching rotation has just been a mess for however long. I mean, we have Garrett Cole, great, but that's all we've got. It feels like.
Well, you should probably spend more money. That would help. Yeah.
We should.
Or spend it with the money that's spent,
On the
spend it right.
people.
Yeah.
But I like it. The Yankees finished last in their division, and no change was made.
Yeah. No.
George Steinbrenner is rolling in his grave right now, upset with his son.
Yeah.
That's not the Yankees, so I'm upset about that one. Although I'd be intrigued if, I don't think he will go, but Shohei Ohtani to the Jays, that would be something.
That's never going to happen. I don't think. It's too much. They're
don't.
talking about like $450 million or something for a contract. The
Wasn't it
are not-
$600 million not too long ago, though?
Was it? I
And
don't
then
know.
he got hurt. And
Well, yeah, because now he's had surgery, so he's.
Well, he can't
Damage.
pitch next year.
Oh,
He's
right.
only a hitter next year because I don't think it was Tommy John.
Is he
Was
going to
it Tommy
sign?
John's?
Yeah, it was.
Was Tommy
Is
John's?
he going to sign more than a 1-year deal though?
Well, that's the question
Not in
that's
Toronto.
been thrown out there is, do you sign a 1-year deal, make big bucks next year as a hitter, and then when you know you could be a pitcher and a hitter, you sign for even more? Or do you just lock in for the big money?
At that point, when do you go, I think 400 million will suffice?
Yeah.
Or is the PA and the agents
Yeah.
in his ears saying you need to reset the market?
Yeah.
And how much, what's the
Well,
balance
that would
there?
smash the market. But like
Yeah.
they said, he's a once-in-a-lifetime player. Like the last guy
Right.
was Babe Ruth.
yeah.
True.
Historically, baseball's Players Association has always been the strongest. They have been firm and they've been tough. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, dude, no, you're going for every last cent you can make because you raise the ceiling of what the max amount is and everyone comes up from there.
Totally.
So, I look forward to the day we're hearing about the $500 million contract. A $500 million. Like, that's coming in baseball. We're not
Or
that far
basketball.
away.
Yeah.
You don't think it'll?
What is the highest in basketball? ever
Basketball
given?
is getting insane.
There has to be a 400
There's-
or
I
a
think
350 or something.
Biggest.
We're into the
NBA
30 million
contract.
per year guys in basketball now, right?
I think
Or
didn't
have we
somebody
even
just
crept
get
into 40?
Jaylen Brown got a $303 million extension with the Celtics. So that was the most. That's the biggest contract I think right now that has been given out. So they're $200 million away.
Yeah.
Baseball, I think we've seen a $400 million contract. What did Aaron Judge get last year?
Yeah. No, Judge didn't get it because Judge is older.
I'm just trying to think what
Right?
he got $360 million over 9 years.
Yeah. And that takes him to
That's 40 million a
39.
year, though.
Biggest.
Yeah, it's 40 mil.
MLB.
That's right.
The biggest Mike Trout got $426.5 million for 12 years. Wow. So he was
How bad do you
that's
feel for
close.
him though? Like they have two of the best players in the world on that team.
Yep.
And they can't win.
Here's why I don't feel bad for Mike Trout. And now this is an awful thing to say in the city of Edmonton that has Connor McDavid because people wouldn't want this to go that way. He could have left. Or he could want to leave. Like that organization hasn't been
Yeah,
doing
but doesn't
anything.
that say
And
something
you
about
lock
him?
in for 12 years and you've only played in 3 playoff games.
Yeah.
At some point you have to go either fix this or I'm gone. And he hasn't done that. So it's like, okay, you agreed to that money. You
Yeah.
could have
Right.
you didn't have to go full 12, I guess. Like so to me there's a little bit of
But I'm hoping
Sorry.
Connor thinks that way too. I
Yeah.
want to win here. Like
I think
If
that
he
is
leaves
his
the-
mentality.
but at least he's been in the playoffs here,
Yeah.
right? Like that's and the Angels just haven't been able to get to the playoffs.
Right.
well, wasn't it last year they were making a run and then Ohtani got hurt?
Yeah. Did he get hurt in that run? Like he got hurt a little
Right.
bit last year, but
Yeah. It was like right in the smack of it. They
Yeah.
were on a 10-game heater or something.
Yeah.
well, and then I still, it would have been tough to do, but I was of the mindset at that time to trade Ohtani.
They should have.
But I understand why they didn't because they were still in that push and they were still going for it. But to me, is the haul you could have potentially got for Ohtani was
Yeah.
just you knew if you have to sit down with him and be like, are you signing yes or no?
And you're trading them to the
if it's no-
Dodgers
Yeah.
or the Yankees, chances are.
Right.
I think Braves would have been
Or
in
the
there,
Braves.
but
And what are you getting? Like
you can't trade him
for
to
the
the Dodgers.
Like that's huge. Like what could you get from them?
I
But is he going to be the same player when he comes back? Like
Oh, well,
Tommy
like
John
Guys are pretty
surgery.
good after Tommy John surgery.
they've
Like,
really figured out
Yeah.
Tommy John
Do they actually
medically.
make them stronger? Is like
It
bionic
like-
man?
apparently it's incredible the way it fixes an arm. So
I like McDavid. I won't bet against Otani in that sense. McDavid will get injured. We'll be like he'll be stronger than ever when he's coming back, or he'll be just fine. I'll feel the same with Otani, where it's
I still want
Tommy
to know how
John's
he-
is nerve wracking to see for players, but
Right.
with Otani, I'll be like, no, this guy's gonna come back and he's gonna be fine, and he's just gonna be incredible to watch.
yeah.
So
It's still shocking to me how McDavid healed so well and so fast, and was just that much better. Like we don't get how lucky we are in this city. Like,
True.
to have Gretzky, and then now we have McDavid. And my brother-in-law, he's from Winnipeg, so now he didn't switch back to the Jets. He's a Coyotes fan.
oh,
Oh wow.
Yeah, like he's
So he'll be a
loyal
Salt
to
Lake fan.
He's
He's
gonna be a
fault.
big Salt Lake guy right
Yeah.
away here. All right.
So he's just like, and he hates Oilers. I guarantee all you guys have him blocked on Twitter or X, because he's annoying. Even as my brother-in-law.
wow.
Sorry, buddy.
that's 3 sorries today.
yeah.
I'm the only one that hasn't said sorry yet.
Yeah,
You've thrown out a not sorry.
yeah.
I'll never be sorry. I'm
You're Matthew.
damn
You're
right.
not sorry.
Especially with my brother. Not a chance.
There you go.
It ain't gonna happen.
There you go.
I like it does. I do laugh sometimes when like I hear Oiler fans. Sometimes some of them will be like, why do the hockey gods hate us or something? And I also go look and go, you had Connor, you had Gretzky, you had the team of the '80s, you have 5 Stanley Cups. You might just also be living the punishment for all that greatness that happened in the '80s.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like the Calgary Flames have 1 cup.
Yeah.
They had to watch their provincial rival get that team of the '80s, and then have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl right now. And the Canucks have never won a Stanley Cup, and the Jets, they lost their team and it came back. And it's like, it's hard to be to say Oiler fans like, why do hockey gods hate us? Where it's like,
Yeah.
well,
I remember where I was when we heard the draft lottery. Like
Right.
I jumped so high.
where were you?
So it was in my dad's kitchen, and he has a big TV that we can see from the kitchen, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that was wild.
Where were you when McDavid got?
I was in the broadcast booth of the White Court Hockey Arena.
Oh yeah.
It was our spring camp at the time, and funnily enough, I was standing right next to Rocky Thompson because his son
no way.
Tier Thompson was he was trying out for us. Eventually, did make the White Court Wolverines, and yeah, I'll never forget that. We just stunned. It was
I
awesome.
laughed like probably for a good 30 minutes. I just laughed because the Oilers got McDavid, and it was just like I just found it so funny. Because the rest of the hockey was so miserable.
Yeah, it
like
really
all the other markets were so upset.
Well, Toronto too.
And I just
Like,
found
that's
that
what made it
Buffalo,
better.
Toronto.
the
Yeah.
funniest thing ever, that it's like Connor's coming to us, and not the fan base in this, but the team didn't deserve him in a sense. Just that, you
No.
know, they were bad
We were
and they
terrible.
were poorly
the decade
managed.
of darkness was real.
But it's like,
Oh, yeah.
But Connor's coming to Edmonton, and that was just the funniest thing to me ever. You were with the team.
I was.
Yeah.
I was still hosting Oilers TV. I remember I was in Cold Lake watching the Edmonton Red Wings in Junior B Provincials.
Oh yeah.
And I was in the hotel room with my dad and his buddy. And we watched it, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I started laughing, and immediately, like, I'm getting phone calls, and they set up meetings that evening, and they're like, okay, this is how we're going to handle it. This is unbelievable. And it went back to work mode, basically.
Wow,
It was
because
insane.
the following week, Bob Nicholson had his big press conference
Yeah.
with the thing. Did he announce he was getting rid of Mac T that day, or was that just he was going to do the audit
that
of
was
the
at
team
the
or
Hotel
something?
Mac. They
No, that first press conference when he had the card
Oh,
was
the
at
placard,
it was
yeah.
at Rexall.
Yeah.
and then it was at the hotel where they did
Peter and
Shirelli
Todd.
and made that announcement.
Yeah.
And those are 2 separate days.
Right. I thought they were the same because I remember we were at Hotel Mac and we took them that on the patio.
Because Todd had to go to World Hockey Championships.
Oh,
so
that's
Peter was
right.
first, and then he
Yeah.
hired Todd,
Yeah.
so they were separate.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was insane. That was just a crazy.
So I think he fired
sequence of
Mac
events.
T that day.
Yeah, Mac
I think
T
that's how.
was
But
not
so
happy.
it was like it was this whole big snowball that came from Bill Daly flipping a card.
Yeah,
that changed
Yeah.
everything with the organization.
yeah.
at
I
the
think
time.
Mac was in Europe with the scouting staff, and they were watching some players. I can't remember if it was World Championships. It probably was, and he had to fly back. And then everything started to snowball, and all the changes started happening. Yeah, it was a tumultuous time. I remember that.
Nice word. Well done.
Thank you.
Pulled that out.
Liberation there too.
Also, just shout out to Boys of the White Court Wolverines right now. Wyatt Ziegler.
Why is
Just wanna give him a
he?
shout out. He's, do you know Wyatt?
No, I did just from
Quiet
Yeah,
Wyatt?
no, our intern with us, and
Yeah.
he's White Court Wolverines.
Yeah, he
play-by-play.
took over when
with
you
him?
left to take the oil king's job. Yeah.
Yep. He's a good man.
Did he replace you?
There was one person in between
Okay.
us.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. My
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. And I won't
great
take
team.
credit for his hiring, but I did tell him you guys should look at this Wyatt kid, and he made good on it, and he's done a great job up there. It's been awesome.
And you were on one of the games this week.
Yeah,
this year.
2-3 weeks ago I was on. Zeegs had me on. Thank you, Zeegs. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I missed that guy.
Good dude.
He's
He was
awesome,
great.
dude.
Yeah, he was funny as hell.
Another
You guys always
1260.
picked good interns, like I have to say.
We've been lucky.
Like
We've been really lucky.
Wyatt, Uremchuk, like
Yeah, your Amchuk, we had
Uremchuk
Hernan.
was-
Her
for
and
how
Adam.
young
Hernan,
he is,
yeah.
he sure knows a lot about sports. I'll give
He's a
him that.
smart guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Yeah.
He's-
Whatever.
I love
Let's
how
not- let's
everyone
not
used to
get
mix
into
you
this.
and him up. I'm like, how
Oh, they
you
still
mix
do.
them?
They still
You
do.
don't sound anything like or look alike.
I've been mixed up with him, with Connor Halley, with Mark Majot, once with Lieutenant Eric. It's gone around.
Well, you and Eric look
Yeah, you're pretty
strikingly
much-
similar.
yeah.
Oh,
Twins.
Look in
Yeah.
the mirror.
there's a few of those that I named that we don't look the same.
Right.
Me and Majot laughed about that many
yeah,
times,
that's-
about how the fact that like
Right.
we get mixed up and stuff and times, and it's just, yeah, I've been mixed up a lot. But then Uremchuk, yeah, sometimes he'll get like tweets about, or like he'd get inbox texts into the inbox like mad at him for something I said,
Right.
which was the best
Yeah.
because he gets all the blame, but it was because of me. But yeah, we don't need to inflate his ego and stuff
Yeah.
and say he's
Oh, we
great.
won't.
Like he's
He's in Philly. He's not listening.
Yeah.
he's average at best.
He's very
That's-
good.
That's all I'll say about Uremchuk. How's your linesman or reffing going?
Been
by the way?
good. It's been really good. I'm actually enjoying it a lot more than
Are
I thought
you?
I was going to. It's been.
Have you had to kick someone out yet or anything?
Oh yeah.
Have you
It's-
worked with Surveyor
Stop a
Brett?
fight?
Me and Surveyor Brett have worked a number of times together now.
Excellent.
He is an awesome dude. He's fun to work with. He knows how to call a beer league game properly, which is good because you work with some guys that like to disrupt the flow of the game for sure. But he knows what he's doing out there, and it's been a lot of fun doing it. And it's a great way to make a little side cash and just a reason to put on the skates a couple times a week and get out there and go for a skate.
Will you play again?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Hopefully play some summer hockey this year. So
Do you play hockey?
Poorly. Yeah. I was talking about junior B. I was fourth liner, sometimes the 13th forward for the Beaumont Chiefs. So, but they're still my best friends. Like,
Yeah.
I was with the team for 7 years.
Oh wow.
I took a job with them after a volunteer job.
Defenders of the Brack.
That's right. Now it's called Ken Nickel. It's not even the Brack anymore.
Oh.
There's 2 rinks in there.
Did they build a new one?
Yeah.
And
they're built in a new one down at the bottom of the hill.
Nice. Do they play at the new one, the Chiefs?
No,
Or
they're
still in the old
in
one?
the same in the bottom.
That's a quirky arena.
Well, that was like I said, they had that stanchion
Yeah.
that would throw the puck out. So a friend of mine and I were talking about this the other day. They won Bantam AA provincials on that play
off the stanchion.
in overtime. Off that stanchion to win provincials.
Okay, when I remember we would go out there, and the rumor was that the Brack is haunted. Is that true?
If it is, I don't know who haunts it.
Okay.
I've never heard that, and I've lived
Someone
there
was
for
saying that, and
41
I'm like,
years,
what?
so-
Do you believe in that stuff?
No, but I do like watching Ghost Adventures on Discovery.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
They're
Of
two
course you do.
bros. It's like, what are they doing?
Hotel Max haunted.
Yeah, there's
Yeah. It's a horse.
There's a few places. Well, then there's the theater. One of the theaters downtown.
Which it has to be an old one.
The one on Jasper? Or
The Princess?
Yeah, that's which is closed completely right now.
Yeah, it was. I thought I had heard that it was haunted too.
Interesting.
I love those stories.
I never believed in any of that. And then
Apparently,
some weird things happened.
okay, speaking of that, at Fort Edmonton, the hotel there is apparently haunted.
I would love to know how people just come up with that it's
I
haunted
don't
or
know.
something. Like how you just sit there and you hear like a crack in the wall and you're like, it's haunted. There's a ghost here. Oh my God. Like, I don't know how it is. Surveyor Brett, who, by the way, average ref too. He was coming for my commissioner job, so I'm like, he knows what he's doing. Didn't get it, Brett. Now, did ya?
He would have got voted in by the fans.
Yeah, he'd win the fan vote.
Yeah, and then all of you guys would turn on him because you guys all turn on
Well,
commissioners.
he's a ref. He's used to that.
Yeah,
That's
very
fair.
true.
Peard team might have the tightest pants in the CCRHL.
Yeah.
So I just want to. He did throw that one out there, so I just
Hipster
wanted
ref.
to throw that one there.
I'm trying to change the way that refs appear on the ice. I think there needs to be you and your, the jeans and blazer.
Yeah.
You don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like the big baggy pants on the refs.
I'm with you.
I think we got to get a little bit more stylish out there.
It's a happy medium there somewhere.
Yeah. So, and I'm going certainly to the extreme.
Okay.
Right
Oh,
now.
you're going to
Are
the
they
extreme.
tight and too short, or
They're,
just
they're,
tight?
no, they're, now, in my defense, they're only tight around my shin pads because I'm still using my actual hockey shin pads.
okay.
And I haven't bought the actual ref pants. I just bought a pair of XL track pants.
Gotcha.
So I got to really squeeze them over top of the shin
Gotcha.
pads, but the rest, it's not quite the show. But
I find that hilarious.
The rookie's coming in and changing the game.
trying to.
That's how it's done.
Yeah.
Make your mark.
Is your jersey tailored?
It's gonna be by the end of the year.
Rogan Dean all over
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Rogues, I need it taken in here, here in the back a little bit.
Yeah.
Apparently, football jerseys are just so tight nowadays. You can't just put them on. They have to go over
Yeah.
your shoulder pads and stay on your shoulder pads.
Yeah.
That was Milne was telling us. And
Yeah. Well, soccer went that way too, 20 years ago, where they went away from the
Yeah.
baggy shirts because
little more-
guys were tugging, right?
Yeah, you'd pull them.
Yeah. So,
I like the soccer jerseys right now. It's
kits.
really nice ones. The kits.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. So
They breathe well. They wick moisture.
they actually do breathe quite well. They're nice
Excellent.
to wear. Just
I
in
got,
your everyday.
At a charity thing at the Elks, at the time it was Eskimos, there was a Warren Moon jersey signed from back in the day. Well,
Yeah.
I won it. I paid for it
Yeah.
in a silent auction. But that thing, it's like wool. It would not breathe.
Oh,
They would just sweat it,
yeah.
melt in it. But it's great. I need
That's
to
a
put that
great
in a frame.
item. Yeah.
It's not in a frame yet.
Got to get that Pro-Am
I
Sports.
did wear it out once.
Did you?
That night. I
That's
did.
risky.
We were with, shout out to Patty from the brew house.
Yeah.
We were in his golf tournament at Red Tail. One of his friends did a charity event, and I think it was TELUS donated their suite. Well, donated. We bought it in the auction.
Yep.
And so we went there that night, and we were all in a limo. And
Of course,
so,
Pat.
of course, I had to have it on after I bought
That
it.
risky.
Yeah,
But high risk, high reward. That's a great item. Go see Jack and Ken at Pro-Am.
I will.
They'll get it all taken care of for you really nicely.
One store I've never been in. Pro-Am.
Good shop.
I need to go there.
North side, just off the Yellowhead, St. Albert Trail. Great spot.
Then I can go to
get
Mr.
stuff.
Mike's after.
And get
Mr.
the
Mike's.
sirloin butts.
Those are really good.
Those were phenomenal.
Those are really good. So
Those were devoured at the watch party.
Confession, I've never been to Mr. Mike's.
It's
Ever.
really good.
I've heard.
Mr.
They
Mike's
need one in
Burger.
Beaumont. It's perfect. It's always a small town.
They don't have
kinda-
one there?
No.
Because it's kind of becoming like a Boston pizza.
Yeah.
Where it's, a staple of
Yeah.
a rural
Yeah.
Alberta town.
Well, I think
connected
we're
to
too
hotel
close.
usually too, right?
Yeah.
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 Because it's like Hampton Inn on St. Albert Trail.
Yeah.
That's the one. we
Now
went
one
to.
in Fort Sask.
Hey there.
There you go.
All right.
So that's
And
opposite of
Beaumont's like a
Beaumont.
growing.
Well, we've
Growing
got
town.
it too big almost now,
Wow.
I think.
It's a young community too,
It
like
is.
Fort Sask.
We need, well, they're building 2 brand new high schools because
Yeah.
there's 8 junior high and elementaries.
Wow.
There's 1 high school.
So everyone gets
And
fed
all
in there.
those kids are
Yeah.
getting to the age where they're going to be coming. So they're
Man.
building a Catholic or a French immersion and then now a public.
Yeah, the French immersion makes sense out in Beaumont.
Yeah.
Very much
There's
so.
not actually that much French out there anymore.
No?
Really?
Even when I grew up, there's the initial 5 families.
Oh.
That they're all
Because the stop signs and all that still have the arete and all that.
Arete.
yeah, it's all lights now. There's
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's not
That's when
very-
you know you're getting big city.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Once you start replacing stop
'Cause we're
signs and
over
stuff with
20,000
lights,
people.
now
Yeah.
you're becoming bigger.
Now with the city limits and the expansion of how much growth there's been in Beaumont, is it already butting up
it's
against the
annexed.
city?
The city annexed right to 510, which
Wow.
is the north
Yeah,
edge
yeah,
of
yeah.
Beaumont.
Because I haven't been there in a while. Like a bunch of my buddies live out there now, and I remember there was a bit of you were in
There's
farmland.
still a gap.
Okay, yeah,
So it's still the farmland.
yeah,
On the east, they've started building
okay,
already. On the west, there's a couple farmers that are holding out for more money.
As you should.
Yes,
Smart.
they should.
Smart.
That's about it for the EST Hangout for today. Pears, you guys got off until Friday?
Teddy
Yeah.
Bear Toss. Get to oilkings.ca, get your tickets. You don't want to miss it. It's a lot of fun.
And thank you for coming in, Mick. It was
Thanks
great
for
meeting
having me.
you.
It was
And
great.
thanks for being
Well
a Nasty
done,
Club
Mick.
member. And first appearance for a Nasty Club member. So well done. Good job for you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And all the best with getting that shoulder sorted
Yeah.
out for golf next year. You got to bring that golf score down.
That's right.
That's
Back, back into single-digit handicap. That's the goal.
Coming up next, it is the Lock Shop. Dusty and Huss, they'll get you set for tonight's action. Also, enjoy the Oiler game, by the way, tonight.
Thank
Coming up at noon, two guys in a goalie, Cass Gager and Dusty. They'll get you set for the Oiler game tonight. And then I have the pregame show at 5:30 because Tommy's got a second-last episode of Bozone Live. Dusty will have the postgame show.
Yes.
So either way, Dusty's going to be fired up for that postgame, so you're not going to want to miss that one. On behalf of Tom, Mick, Andrew, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning into the EST Hangout presented by Mott's Clamato Caesar Lock Shop. Coming up next.